Hello and welcome back to some more hot cock action. This time, top cock action, as we have the Top Cock Invitational. Now I've got to do some special admin work, but we'll be getting into the games very shortly. All right, trying to do all the things. Maddox is here, which is very helpful. I'm very happy Maddox is here. Not great at this whole tournament organizing thing. We're getting into it. It's good. It's good. I'm not a professional. We're on a 2-minute delay. The good old 2-minute delay. You gotta love it. Hopefully sound is coming through. Should have checked that. Didn't check that. Hopefully sound's coming through. It should be, because it was working earlier. But then again, you never know. You really never know. All right. Make sure that we are right. Oxide. I tell you, my heart is jittering right now. This tournament, I've run 74 Cocks of the Walk. I've cast a million tournaments with so many good players, but this is terrifying. I am scared. Where is ByuN? But we're gonna have some sick games. Are you not really on the beach? No, I am really on the beach. Tip top lop. Why would you think I'm not? I don't understand. We're getting ready for game 1 though, and that's something I do understand. As soon as the players are ready. It might be a minute. I'm very excited. Getting a little bit of wine in the background when you talk. It's kind of weird. It's the same. You know what, actually? I feel like The air conditioner is being a little bit more than normal. I'm going to turn my fan off in hopes that it kind of brings the whole thing down a little bit, but I might have to turn it back on. We'll see. Hopefully it's not a problem when we get into the game and there's game sounds. Anyways, guys, we have an absolutely sick bracket today. We have 10 matches. There's going to be 5 on this channel. There's going to be 5 on Steadfast channel. We're going to be playing them simultaneously. So right now, Steadfast is going to be covering Zoun Classic, which is a fucking banger. Holy shit. I couldn't decide if I wanted the top matches or the bottom matches. I couldn't decide because they're so good. And I was like, we'll just go top because it'll be easier for everybody to think about it because it's my tournament and I'll take the top one. Easy peasy. But Steadfast is going to be casting all the other matches. So all the second matches, if you look on the Wikipedia, they're not really separated into groups, but I'm casting the odd matches. He's casting the even matches. So I got 1, 3, 5, etc. We're just waiting for ByuN to run to the bathroom. We have a sick bracket. ByuN, Classic, GuMiho, Prince, and Zoun. It's round robin, so everybody faces everybody. Our first one's going to be ByuN GuMiho, which I actually want to put in the title because that's how you bring people in. They look around, and what do they see? First thing, ByuN. That's how you get them in. We're going to start a prediction. Of ByuN GuMiho. So get it going, dude. So our matcherino. Unfortunately, we didn't get any codes. There's still a chance. I sent in and asked for codes, and it's pending. It's been pending. So I don't know if we're going to get codes. If we do get codes, I won't close it right away. I'll give it like a day. I'll wait till tomorrow, and then I'll probably close it. If we don't get codes, that is what it is. If we do get codes, it'd be nice. I'll let you guys know in Discord or whatever. But if you guys would be so kind as to do some of the sponsored quests on the sidebar, those are super useful. They don't put a lot of money in. You know, it's like 15, 30 cents each, whatever. But any of that helps. If you, out of the goodness of your heart, want to contribute to the prize pool. Some drunk Canadian put in $50. I didn't even realize for like 2 days. I don't even know. I mean, I assume 2 days. I just like looked at it randomly and it was in there, and I messaged him. I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And then he was like, "For what?" So it must have been like a day or two later. I think I sent out the tweet like 3 days ago. So, it was so funny. But I really appreciate that. Con, I just saw that. Thank you so much. I didn't even see how much it is. I just like saw it as I clicked off of it. Con, thank you so much. We all talk about the top when it's really the bottom that counts, dude. I mean, you could argue you can't have one without the other. But let's hop into our first match of the day. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Oxide, we have our Storm Gaming Terran in the red, GuMiho. And his opponent in the upper right for the Shopify Rebellion, it's the blue Terran, ByuN. GuMiho starting off a little spicy with a Proxy 2 Rags Reaper play. The classic move. Oh, and ByuN's proxying a barracks. Oh, this is spicy. This has suddenly gotten very spicy very quickly. Now, this is going to be our only TVT of the day, guys. Sadly. I was hoping for a bit more variety in terms of the racial diversity of today, of the players here, but you know what I mean? It just so happened we got 3 Protosses, so we're gonna have, there's gonna be a couple PvPs. We're covering one, and Steadfast is covering the other one. So he's got Zoun Classic right now. Oh, I guess there'll be a third one. Do we have 2 PvPs? Oh, we might have 2 PvPs today, actually. I think I might have done my calculations wrong. He's got Zoun Classic, so there also must be Zoun Prince and Classic Prince. We might be covering both of those, and then that would make our other 2 PvTs. Steadfast has got all PvTs all day, which sounds kind of like a bad thing, but honestly, he's got some bangers. They're all going to be bangers, for sure. But this is our only TVT. So ByuN's over here with 2 Reapers. Now he's going to hit the base, but so is GuMiho. And, oh my god, if GuMiho is able to catch a Reaper here, this could be... Oh, this is crazy, man. So ByuN going to rally this Reaper back home. And I assume he'll be bringing his Reapers home. But in the meantime, he needs to try to take a good fight. Oh! All right, GuMiho going for the target on the Reaper of ByuN. ByuN pulls it away, though. Look at that, 4 hit points. And in the meantime, ByuN's like, actually, I'm just going to stay over here. Okay, so GuMiho's factory doesn't get up, and ByuN's does. So he's got a Hellion on the way. Is that enough? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. All right, GuMiho gets the surround on the SCV, but another Reaper shows up. This has become the diciest, spiciest thing I ever did see. ByuN has a little bit of minerals left. He can repair this Hellion. That could be something we see happen. Reaper gets caught. I think we're going to be down to just the units that exist here. We've got buildings lifting. Hellion was canceled. ByuN, I mean, he's mining like a little bit more mineral or gas right now, but that's it. Supply depot's going down. Okay, so ByuN has 5 SCVs left. Oh, 4 SCVs left. Because he's going to lose the one over there. He's got 4 SCVs left. They're both lifting command centers. I don't know if GuMiho realized that 4 SCVs escaped. So now we have buildings floating all over the place and not a single unit that shoots up. Oh, hold on. We got 1 Marine being made from ByuN. He's actually queued up a 2nd Marine. He's using all of the remainder of his minerals to make Marines, which technically means he can shoot buildings. But the buildings can float to the corner, so it's not enough to just have Marines. I think actually the reason he's building Marines is because he's out of gas, so he can't build Reapers. Oh, we're having an engagement. GuMiho's got more. ByuN trying to micro his heart out here, but it's just not going to be enough. 1 more Marine won't be enough to turn the tide, and that's going to be GG. Game number 1 going to GuMiho. What a start. What a start. I mean, what else can I say? It's just great. It's a great start. I feel bad for Prince. I neglected to tell him that he was getting a bye first round because I didn't realize at the time when he was awake. So I feel a little bad. He was like, I could have told him to show up 20 minutes late. We were like, yeah, it's 2:20, you know. But oh, I'm making this light shade. Forgot I was making the map. Oh, all right, we got there. Oh, okay. A draw? Not quite a draw. Technically, not a draw. The thing is, Kodale, if one player ran out of... They both had orbitals left. So they both could have... If the other player had no units, they both could have landed their orbitals and muled, right? So the fact that GuMiho won the fight meant that ByuN couldn't do that, and he couldn't stop GuMiho from doing that. We're going to Lightshade for game 2. And if you're wondering how this is scored, it's pretty simple. It's just like any other group's group that you've seen. The first thing we go by is set score. So whoever has the best set score, that's it. Just order set score. If they have tied set scores, then it's map scores. If they have tied map scores, then it goes to the head-to-head. So that's how it works. What a game one. It's beautiful. Let's hop into game two here. And let's hope it's a little bit less hectic, at least at the beginning. Maybe later. We'll get hectic like 5-6 minutes later. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Light Shade, we do have the Shopify Rebellion Terran, ByuN. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner for Storm Gaming, GuMiho. Now both players have a long and storied history in StarCraft 2. GuMiho has literally been playing, I think he played in the first GSL. He's been playing that long. You know, he's been around a long time. The Towel Terran in like 2012, the booth fell on him. Like part of the ceiling fell on his head during a match. A classic GSL moment. And ByuN, of course, 2016 world champion. He's been one of the best Terrans in the world for years. Both players went to the military. And both players have come back and decided they wanted to get back into the game. They weren't done with StarCraft yet, or StarCraft wasn't done with them. And it's really cool to see players come back from the military. I think it's one of my favorite things that's been happening in the last couple of years is we're seeing players come back from the military. And I think, honestly, these two guys are some of the best examples. We also have Classic in today, who also did that. Which I'm actually like, I didn't really intend this, but I think it's kind of cool that we've got 3 players who went to the military and came back and kept playing StarCraft. I kind of wish I had thought about that a little more. I might have made a concerted effort to make that happen and get all 5 players to do that. Maybe next time. I'll ask these guys if they want to come back. I don't know if we're going to ever have a Top Cock Invitational number 2, but if we do, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. This tournament is funded completely from the Raid Shadow Legend sponsorship that I did a few weeks ago. I said if we got to the highest tier, actually I said if we got to 35 people, we would do a tournament with some of the winnings. And not only did we get to 35, we got to 45. We got to the absolute highest tier of the sponsorship. So I was able to put in even more money than I had expected to. I was going to do like $100 or maybe $150 cup. And then we hit the 45 and I was like, all right, we're bumping it up, dude. We're going straight to 200. 200, easy peasy. And I knew that with 200, we could probably get some decent players in. So I'm really excited that we got not just decent players, but really good players. And I'm happy to be able to give something to the Korean scene, since the Cock of the Walk is, you know, it's all European with the occasional North American in there, but never Koreans, except ByuN happened to show up the other day. But I just think it's cool that we get to finally get back to the Korean scene a little bit. And thank you guys for putting extra money into the prize pool. It's super sick. I love, you know, we're just supporting the players, right? Like, any money that goes into the prize pool goes directly to the players. It will get split up evenly according to the percentages that are in the match arena. Oh no, this is going to force a cancel. Oh my god. ByuN getting hyper aggressive, but at the same time, there's a Liberator from the proxy starport, which now is a tech lab to start building a Banshee. Oh my god. So massive damage on both sides while I'm talking about the prize pool and stuff. That is huge. ByuN went super heavy aggro, but built a bunch of stuff that doesn't shoot up. Liberator gonna unsiege, but honestly, it can go back here and continue causing issues. It's got to be careful of the Widow Mine, but man, this is brutal. And there's Cloak Banshees to follow it up, which is insane. This Liberator has 6 kills, 6 SCVs. ByuN forced to cancel, so this CC for GuMiho is very late. And he honestly doesn't have very many units up here. ByuN playing it safe, but I think if he jumped up here, he would win this fight right now. With the second Cyclone and 2 Marines popping, he won't anymore. But now this is a real problem. This Widowmine's got a lot of work to do, and it's not getting it done. All right, it will finally connect on the Liberator, but guess what? It does not kill a Liberator. And oh no, just like that. ByuN, despite getting good damage on the other side of the map, has to tap out. GuMiho wins the fastest TVT best of 3 I have ever seen in my entire life. I'm blown away at how fast it's so fast that the PvP that's going on right now is not even close to done yet. That's how fast this was, dude. It's crazy. I'm gonna pop into Steadfast channel. Looks like they just got into the next game, maybe? Not too sure. All right, let's see what is next. So next on the docket, GuMiho is going to be facing Classic, and ByuN is going to be facing Prince. So we're going to have to wait for Classic Zoun to finish up. ByuN Prince, they're both here, but Steadfast is casting that one. So we got to wait till he's done in his game. It looks like maybe it was a pause. I looked at his screen and it was just on his face. So I assume it was a pause. It looks like Classic's up 1-0. These are all best of 3s, so it could go to a third game. Now we need to persuade Inno to come to SC2 after the military too. Big true. Big true. That would be sick. I would love that. I'm sad that ByuN went out of that ByuN lost that best 3 so quickly. Rip. Who voted ByuN, dude? Who would do such a thing? This best 3 is supposed to last an hour and a half. I don't know about that, but I thought maybe it'd last 30 minutes. Maybe 30 instead of 20. Thank you, by the way, Shitzerg, for dropping $10 into the prize pool as well. We're up to $280. It's looking pretty good. We're actually very close to first place getting $100. Right now, first place gets $98. So it'd be pretty sick if we were able to bump that up to 100. I don't know how much it would take to do that. 35% of the prize pool goes to them, so whatever, $2 is 35% of what? If you can answer that, you can figure out how much to donate to bump it up to 100. That's all I know. Okay, so how's the other game going? We might have to wait a little bit. Oh, maybe not, actually. As I say that, they pop out a game. It's not looking good for Zoun right now, but actually, I don't know. I can't tell. I just say I just noticed that Zoun is using the classic. The classic portrait. We got classic. Oh my god. Shit, Zerg, thank you so much for the 300 bits. TCI hype, dude. TCI hype. I'm really excited about this. This is this is really exciting to me. The idea of being a tournament organizer, I feel like I'm not great at these kinds of things. So I've always shied away from it a little bit. Obviously, I run the Cock of the Walk every week, but that's like honestly, it's really easy. The first week I was really nervous, but then when we had like a bunch of signups and we just kind of have that, and it's easy. I do the same thing every week. The rules, I wrote out the rules 2 years ago, you know? So it's that's a little different. Like I run the tournament, but I don't quite feel like a tournament organizer for doing that. This is much more tournament organizing for me. Like reaching out to different people and like trying to get responses. It was really hard, and I gotta tell you, the 5 minutes before we went live, when I looked at the clock and it was 5 minutes, and I looked in StarCraft, and GuMiho and Zoun were here. Classic wasn't responding to me in Discord. ByuN had been offline all day. And then and then Prince wasn't online either yet, and I was like, oh my god, like what if they don't show up? Like what the fuck do I do? You know, if it's Cock of the Walk and somebody doesn't show up, just give them a buy round. Dude, it's easy. I didn't even think about what I do if somebody doesn't show up for this. Like, do we just take a bunch of matches off? Do we just make it a 4-player group and take a bunch of matches? Give me 5 minutes, guys. I gotta figure out a new match order. Do I try to find somebody new? Ask them if they know anybody? I don't know, dude. Fortunately, that was not a problem. Classic was the only one I couldn't contact, but ByuN got in contact with Classic for me, and Classic showed up, and here we are. And next up, for us, I already said this, is GuMiho versus Classic. Next up for Steadfast is going to be ByuN versus Prince. Cock steady. That's blasphemy. That's so good. Dude, cock steady. Oh my god. I don't know if we can use that though. I don't know if like DreamHack will let us use that. You know, you think ESL is gonna be like, yeah, cock steady, go for it. I don't know, man. Cock steady's good though. I like that. You're gonna rock steady, steady rocking all night long. We even have a theme song, honestly. Like you just sing that, you good. All night we're gonna rock steady, rocking till the break, rocking till the break of dawn. We're gonna rock steady, steady rocking all night long. We're gonna rock steady, rocking till the break, Rockin' till the break of dawn. Just got to change out rock for cock in most of those lines, and you're good, dude. I will say the one match that I'm a little jealous that Steadfast gets to cast is Classic ByuN. That's going to be a banger. But I told myself I get to cast Classic versus GuMiho. It's also going to be a banger. And I was really excited to cast the only TVT today. Rockin' till the break of... hold on. Who's... Oh, I did Gum... No, I don't know why I did GuMiho first. Classic. All right. Just waiting for them to finish their Vitas up. Surely be a minute. Easily peasily. Everything going good. We haven't dropped frames. I'll tell you, like, there aren't a lot of streams where I get like kind of nervous while I'm streaming. Sometimes before I stream, I'll get like a little nervous. If I have something special planned or something, I'll get a little nervous. Usually while I'm streaming, I'm very chill. But again, this is got my nerves going. I don't know, running tournaments is tough for me. I don't like to be in charge of things. But also I kind of do like it. This energy is good energy. Kind of interested in how Prince is going to do today. I feel like I haven't seen Prince too much lately. So... kind of excited to see, like, I don't know, how he's going to perform. I think he's definitely got chances against a lot of these guys. And the fact that it's all best of 3 means, like GuMiho ByuN, ByuN's been looking pretty on fire lately, and GuMiho's quite good, but I would definitely have favored ByuN in that match. So for GuMiho to take 2-0, like, that's coming out the gate slapping, dude. GuMiho putting himself in a very good spot. I'm gonna take a look here at where Prince is in terms of ranking on Aligulac. So it looks like he's ranked 26 South Korea, according to this. GuMiho's ranked 20. ByuN is 11. Classic is 13. And Zoun is 10. So Zoun, ByuN, and Classic are the people I do expect to kind of get top 3 here. But again, GuMiho starting off 2-0 is like, damn. And the head-to-head against ByuN. So if they end up with like the same match score or something, we might get into that. I'm just talking through while we wait for Classic versus GuMiho to get started. I don't know what we're waiting on. I don't know if somebody like needed a break. Classic. They both just got out of a game. You never know. But I think this break has been longer than the entirety of ByuN GuMiho. Oh, here we go. Oh, I thought they were gonna have me make it again, but no, they got it. They got it. They were like, your lobbies weren't good enough for me. Looks like we're going to Romanticide for map 1. You got some of the best tourneys out there. Thanks, Blasphemy. It suits you, dude. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be honest with you. I gained a little weight since the last time I wore this. Feels bad, man. You guys ever have something that fits you really nicely, and then one day it doesn't, and you're like, fuck you then, dude. I've had the opposite, though. It is nice when you have something that's like, is a little tight. I had a t-shirt that was a little tight. I lost some weight, and I was like, this t-shirt fits perfectly. Oh my god. Or like a pair of pants that are like, ugh, these are a little tight. Lose some weight, and you're like, oh, these are so comfortable. That's a nice feeling. It's rare for me. I've been the same weight for the majority of my adult life. I've been pretty much on the nose the same weight. But for a little while there, like a year ago, I lost some weight, and it was really nice. I had like a year where I was down in weight from what I was for most of my life, like 10, 15 pounds. And that was really nice. Unfortunately, that is not the case anymore. But I still think this fits pretty nicely. I just, can't really button it very easily. But you know what does fit me very nicely is this beautiful piece of merch. Look at this logo. Look at that. Oh, crisp logo. That logo is the logo of my channel because this is merch. Chicken Man merch. Exclamation mark merch if you want some of your own. I've also got a beautiful desk mat down here. I've got some stickers that are available. We've got Poggersdorf, which is not invisible in real life. We've got Cockflock stickers, and we've got Yeehaw Emporium stickers, which are a little bigger than this because I made them too small bags. But I fixed them now. And most importantly, we've got game 1 of our next series. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Romanticide, it is our Alpha X Protoss in the red. Classic. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner for Storm Gaming, it's the Blue Terran, GuMiho. Kind of interested in how GuMiho's going to play this against Protoss. I feel like Classic is likely to go for pretty standard strategies, Blink Stalker openings. Maybe we'll see a Stargate. The cool thing about Classic in this is that I feel like I haven't watched much Classic lately. I feel like I haven't gotten to see too much Classic since he's been back in action. So I'm hoping we get to see something a little interesting from him. Or at least we'll get an idea of how he's been playing. I do know that I feel like I've seen him been playing well, or at least his results seem to have been pretty good. And according to Aligulag, he's pretty high up there. I think it was rank 13, which is very impressive considering he's also just recently come back from the military. The difference, I think, for Classic from pretty much everybody else who's left the military, I would say Classic was at the highest level of any player that went to the military. I don't know. I think ByuN is probably up there, but ByuN was definitely not in world champion shape. And Classic, remember right before Classic went to the military, he he had that sick BlizzCon run against Rogue and got to the top 4. He did fall to Dream, but so did everybody in that BlizzCon finals. So I think he was in very, very good form at the time. He's come back and he's been looking very strong. I think he's got a big chance to get back to his former glory, which is, I think, really difficult for a lot of players who go to the military and then come back to StarCraft. And we haven't seen too many players do exceptionally well just yet. We've had some very strong showings. ByuN had some very strong showings. Dream has had some very strong showings. I've been touting Dream as the success story of coming back from the military, because before he went to the military, he was a pretty good Terran for a few years. And since he's been back, I feel like he's been... I feel like I would rank him higher now than I would have before he went to the military. And that's pretty rare, right? Most players who have gone to the military, they come back, they might get ranked pretty high, but usually it's not quite as high as before they left. But I think with ByuN and Classic, we're starting to see some really impressive stuff. And I hope to see that from GuMiho as well. GuMiho's always been a little non-standard of a player. But we've got a Hellion drop this time. It is against Phoenixes, which is a pretty decent setup for Classic, but it's only 2 Phoenixes right now. All right, he's going to lift up a couple of these Hellions. Yeah, he's going to clean it all up. How many probes did he lose there? 3 probes. Right. I'll be honest, that was not a bad cleanup for Classic. His Phoenixes were in the right spot, and there was a probe block over here. That was really, really good. Very solid cleanup. Losing 3 probes to that's not bad. He didn't get the medevac though. That's the one thing that I would say is very nice for GuMiho. He immediately boosted that medevac out of there, knowing that the Phoenixes couldn't chase it because they were busy dealing with Hellions. I think that was a great choice. Viking on the way out. Oh, and GuMiho's going to try to catch these Phoenixes. Yeah, Classic paying attention, though. Pulls that Phoenix away immediately. This means the Vikings should be able to just get out of here. Oop. But at the same time, Classic moving out with a little bit of army. Taking his 3rd base and just kind of taking up. Looks like he wants to put a little pressure on, but I don't think too much is going to get done here. Oh, GuMiho. Okay, he's got to drop. If he drops, it'll be all right. Cyclones lock on. Cyclone's getting lifted up, but the Hallucinator Phoenix, the landed Viking, does a lot of damage against Stalkers. This is kind of weird. I feel like this is an okay trade for both players. But the nice thing here for Classic is that he keeps these Phoenix alive. Gonna have to run away. Loses 1 Phoenix, but now he's gonna be able to dive in here, get a few SCVs. Another lock on. Ooh. GuMiho gonna get 1 more. No, he doesn't get the last shot off on that Phoenix. Oh, that's brutal. All right, let's take a look at the trades so far this game. Wow. So that's pretty big in favor of Classic. I think a lot of that still comes from 4 Hellions dying for 3 probes. That's already a couple hundred minerals. But yeah, it looks like the 2 Cyclones are probably the biggest thing here on GuMiho's side. So good trades for Classic, but nothing devastating. And GuMiho went for a very quick 3rd CC. So they both have a 3rd base up. GuMiho down a few workers, but with mules shouldn't be too big of a deal. This is a lot of Marines. The Stalkers are going to be decent against this, but not really the Phoenixes. And I like that GuMiho's targeting down the Phoenixes that are lifting up the Cyclones. But this is still a little bit dicey here. I mean, it's not dicey, but Classic's getting some damage done. However, it does feel like the resources lost has evened up a little bit. There's a lot of barracks for GuMiho. He's just going to go heavy into Bio and Widow Mines, it looks like. Meanwhile, Classic is going into Charge. He's getting a +1. A lot of times the follow-up to Phoenixes historically has been Colossi, but I've seen a lot lately, a lot of players that are going Phoenix into Charge Lots and Storm. And I think that it's almost like a subversion, right? It's like you're expecting the Colossi, no, it's going to be Charge Lots. And what it means now is the Terran has to make sure to scout and know what he's up against. GuMiho hasn't really spotted that. But honestly, it's been so popular lately. Maybe he just is expecting charge lots instead of Colossi. Because he's not building any Vikings or anything. So he's not just blindly countering Colossi. Gonna stim a Marine in here. Charge finishes up, so that Marine will find out charge is done the hard way. GuMiho not really putting any pressure out right now. Both players just macroing up. The supplies are exceedingly similar, and it's worth noting GuMiho has actually gone up in workers by quite a bit. Classic not taking a 4th base. Oh man. This pylon looks very Artosis-y. Now it has a few backup pylons here that I think will keep this little section alive, but this pylon powers at least this, maybe even this gateway as well. That's kind of an Artosis pylon. Just it's a little bit of an Artosis pylon. It's like a half Artosis pylon. Half Tosis. Oh, we got a Widowmine drop. Oh my god, Classic not responding at all. Loses a bunch. What do we got? 5, 3, and 5. That's 13 probe kills. And that's going to be 15, actually, as that probe came out of the gas at the wrong moment, dude. Imagine being that probe, and you, like, climb out of the assimilator just in time to explode. That's an unfortunate. Feels bad, man. GuMiho going to try to hit down here at the same time, but Classic is very ready for that. It looks like he has an observer over here. Saw that coming. Widowmines all get cleaned up, so they're not going to get follow-up shots, fortunately for Classic. But, I mean, losing 15 workers right now is not ideal when he's behind a base. Well, he's even on bases. But he was already behind in workers with the Terran. This is... I don't really have the income graph to look at, but if we can look at the income tab, there's a big difference here. GuMiho mining much, much more, which makes the... Well, after that, the difference in trades is actually much closer. Mining that much more means you can take slightly inefficient trades. Now, Classic is getting into Colossi. I was expecting Storm, but Storm has not been researched. He was just using the Templar Archives to get to Archons. I would love to see Storm, though. Zest has been playing with early Storm, and he's been making it look very, very good. I wouldn't mind seeing that from Classic here as well. Obviously, it wouldn't be early Storm anymore, but I feel like a couple of High Templar with Storm available is always going to be useful. Obviously, they're big targets for EMPs, but having a few Storms out on the map could be quite good. But the Ghosts are already out. GuMiho getting ready to get into that late game army. We've got +1 ship weapons on the way for his Vikings. There's a second starport. Either those are the starport. Those are both command centers. Where's the second starport? Am I crazy? Oh, no? I feel like I'm actually insane right now. Oh, it's right there. Literally in front of me. All right, sick. We have got an engagement going on, though. GuMiho caught on this high ground a little bit. I mean, I say caught on the high ground. Usually the high ground's a good place to be, but it doesn't feel like he wanted to take that fight. His ghosts get killed. They did get some EMPs off. I can see some of the shields have been taken off of this, but GuMiho is running away, and those Phoenixes cleaning up the medevacs. At the same time, he's got a double drop in the natural base, but the Zella Warpman is going to clean this up. Oh, he needed to pick up and get out of here, but it looks like he's maybe focused elsewhere. Army gets completely swept, and well, it's a good thing GuMiho is mining more than Classic, because he's going to need that money. Classic blinks forward. He's going to take down one of the medevacs. The other one is empty. We've got double prism. You gotta love some double prism here. Just in case one gets sniped, the other one will stay alive. GuMiho trying to get into late game. He's getting into nukes, but he's got to survive this attack first. It feels like he's got a lot of army supply, but think about how much of this army supply is still in production. SCV is getting pulled off the line. That is not ideal against this army composition right now. Vikings, there's so many Vikings in the sky killing these Colossi, but the ground army just gets absolutely slaughtered. And all those SCVs that came down are now dead, and this was the concern. His army that was in production is spilling down the ramp now. Colossi getting saved by prisms, at least getting some more swipes off. The Vikings finished off the Colossi, but I feel like Classic's just got too much army in here. I think he's going to be able to take game number 1. I think GuMiho had such a good setup, but eventually just took a bad fight. This fight over here, I missed the start of it, but it just wasn't good. It turned out not to be a good fight. He's trying to rally these barracks in such a way as he doesn't lose the units immediately. He's up a base. I mean, he's got 2 planetaries down here, but it's just going to tap out. He can't keep fighting the army. And Classic takes game number 1. But man, that was a close match. That felt genuinely very close. GuMiho has the top cock. He could, man. Looks like the next lobby is going to be Blackburn. Ooh, Blackburn. That's an interesting choice. Classic looking very strong right now. So Classic beat Zoun 2-0 earlier on. ByuN's up 1-0 on Prince right now. Looks like a pretty even game, too. Trying to keep track of the scores here. Good to keep track of them. All right, we're ready to go. Let's hop in to game number 2. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Blackburn, it is our red Protoss player for Alpha X. Classic. His opponent in the lower left, Storm Gaming. GuMiho. So right now, Classic is actually in first place. That I do know. GuMiho is, I think it's second. ByuN in third. Prince in fourth. Zoun in fifth. Obviously, the scores are not going to be final until the very end because there's always going to be somebody who like hasn't played quite as much, or the amount of matches played is going to be slightly off until the very end. Classic checking for the proxy racks. No proxy racks though. GuMiho keeping his racks at home. Keeping his racks to himself. Still a lot of games to go though, and this can absolutely go any direction at any point. Ooh, man, that's a 10 hit point SCV right now. And that SCV can't go fight for its friend. But we got another SCV hanging out over here, and it's Marine first from GuMiho, so the probe's gonna have to run away. Things looking pretty normal, though, which is good. I'm glad. Hopefully this match isn't quite as short as ByuN GuMiho was. We're going to see another Stargate build from Classic. I think this is a good map to do Stargate on. To play Phoenix on, that is. You know, obviously you've got close by air, so drops are going to be a pretty powerful tool in that case. we'll see what GuMiho decides to open with. But one thing I really like about Phoenix openers for Protoss is, and we saw this last game, that they're quite good at stopping harass-based openings. Once you get like 3 Phoenix out, Widowmine drops become not trivial, but like kind of trivial, you know? And once you get 3 Phoenix out, Hellion drops or Hellion run-bys, they lose so much power. Things like Banshees, obviously not going to go quite as well. Liberators die very, very quickly. I just think Phoenix are very strong against that. They have big weaknesses. Poor Adept. They have big weaknesses, and that's usually like big bio pushes. So if you have like a 3 Rags opener, that can be quite good against Phoenixes sometimes. You've really got to handle it well as the Protoss to hold on against that. Big 2-base pushes can work really well also, because those Phoenix become kind of useless as the armies get much, much larger. Although last game we saw how useful those Phoenix can be. As GuMiho was trying to run away, his medevacs were getting caught and killed, which meant he just didn't have the healing. When he finally did decide to stop, turn, and fight, he had no healing left. His units were all very wounded. The other nice thing about Stargate openers is you got Oracle first, so that Oracle has got 3 kills. Nice way to start, and tagging with Oracles is very good scouting. Classic gonna go for a quick 3rd base. Oh, double Oracle actually. Is he gonna skip Phoenixes altogether? He's got 1 Phoenix, but he's not making any more. Very interesting here. We don't usually see double Oracle against Terran. And honestly, a big part of that is because most Terran units shoot up. Ooh, this is a nice catch with the Stalkers, though. The Oracle's going to finish off that Cyclone. However, there is a bunker at the top of the ramp. So I think GuMiho will be okay. Raven can always drop an auto turret as well. Getting into tanks, 2 more barracks finishing up for GuMiho, so he's just kind of a standard opening. Stim should have combat shields on the way, and +1 is already started up. Meanwhile, over in Classic's base, we've got a Twilight Council. Goes straight to Temple Archive, so that leads me to believe this is going to be Charge and not some sort of Blink opening. I think off the back of this much tech, Charge is going to be... Charge is a lot stronger in straight-up fights. Blink gives you a lot of mobility, and obviously we've seen Blink Stalkers crush some Terrans, but once you get into like a big Stim Bio Ball, Blink Stalkers are not the way. You need Chargelets, you need things like Storm, you just need heftier units. You see the Robo going down, and that also provides hefty units. Stalkers are not hefty. They have 160 hit points, which kind of sounds like a lot, but against Stim Bio, it doesn't feel like a lot. Against most things, it doesn't feel like a lot. GuMiho dropping a 3rd command center. Looks like over in Steadfast stream, the ByuN Prince series went to ByuN. Oh my god, he's got a Raven. He sees that stasis trap. GuMiho paying attention, not just letting his Marines run forward willy-nilly. Catches that one too. I didn't even see that one, and I have full vision. GuMiho, very good at spotting those. He's moving right across. This is what I'm talking about. This is one of the things that Stargate openers can be kind of weak against. But we've got charge lots. Oh, nice feedback. Really nice feedback. 1 auto turret went down, but that's going to be it. But the charge isn't done yet. Classic trying to move in. He's got Storm this time, though. He went for the Zest early Storm, and he's got a super shield battery. So he's going to start pushing this back. Tank's getting killed, but another tank does show up. But with charge, I think it's going to be a little too much here. GuMiho going to finish off that Phoenix. I'm surprised he's fighting. I feel like he can pick up and boost out of here, but he's about to lose 2 medevacs. This just isn't enough Marines to fight with anymore. Get out of there, GuMiho. There's still a tank in this medevac. He boosts, he pulls back. Let's take a look at the trades after that. So slightly better for Classic. I'd say that's pretty solidly better for Classic. He did lose one Oracle, but he kept one alive. Lost his Phoenix. But I think the Quick Storm was the saving grace there. It just, it really pushed GuMiho back, and that allowed Charge to finish. And Classic has put himself in a pretty good spot. I will say, I think this game is still very even. GuMiho's ahead in upgrades. He's a full upgrade ahead. He's got a third base down. He's only down a few workers, and with mules, that's going to be, I mean, pretty much even in terms of mining. Yeah, slightly down, but pretty close. And the armor supply is very similar. I think this is a very close game at the moment. That being said, GuMiho was ahead last game, and Classic took a fight that won him the game. It was essentially one fight, and he cleaned up the drop, and that won him the game. And that's kind of a scary thing for GuMiho. He can't take a bad fight like that again, right? Like he'll lose, especially if he's maybe a little behind or at best even. But as I'm looking at it, the army supply is going very in favor of Classic. He is getting ready to push across the map, I think. Oh, he's dropping in the back. A couple of Zellies wreaking some havoc in the mineral lines. Doesn't look like they're doing too much damage here. Like the medevac that might help a little bit. 8 SCVs going down, though. Not too bad. Liberator going to finish this Prism off, but GuMiho needs to be focused on the front. He does have a bunker here. He's got Widow Mines. He's got Siege Tanks. Oh, my God, but this Observer. The Observer is so good. Classic knows exactly what he's up against. I'd love to see him split a few Zealots down to the bottom side just to get a little more surface area. Actually, maybe to the top side would be even better. Sensor tower going up. It feels like GuMiho knows this Observer is here. He's just right underneath it. This is something GuMiho is usually pretty good at finding, are these Observers out on the map. I know ByuN has been crushing it with those lately. Classic's going to pull the trigger. This is a scary place to go into, but oh my God, those storms. Never mind. It's not scary. GG. Oof. Kicked my mic stand again. I was like, oh, there's a bunker. There's siege tanks. There's widow mines. You don't want to go in there. And he's like, I got storm button, dude. I got the storm button. Yeah, he did have the storm button. That's big true. All right, so Classic takes out GuMiho 2-0. Means up next for us is Prince versus Classic, and for Steadfast is GuMiho versus Zoun. Hey, what's up, Flair? All right, let me make sure to... I'm just trying to keep track of the scores a little bit here. It's a good thing to do. 2 for Classic. So Classic has a resounding lead right now. He has not dropped a map. He's 4-0 in map score, 2-0 in set score. Now, ByuN and GuMiho are now both 2-2 map score, 1-1 set score. So they're tied. But GuMiho won the head-to-head, so GuMiho is in second place. Zoun and Prince, rather, are both 0-1 with 0-2 records. So Prince is up against Classic next, and this is going to be important. I mean, every match is important. There's 5 matches per player, so... or 4 matches per player, right? 4 matches per player? Yeah. So every match is important, but... if Prince goes down 0-2 here, that's brutal. Zoun's up against GuMiho, and I actually think Zoun can win that. Like, I would favor Zoun in that. According to Aligulac, Zoun is our highest ranked player here. So the fact that he's down 0-1, an 0-2 map score, is not ideal. He's going to really, really want to take the 2-0 here. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Just a reminder, this prize pool, we do have a Matcherino. Unfortunately, we do not have codes for the Matcherino. However, we do have all the sponsor quests on the sidebar. If you guys don't mind following random channels and things like that, following random Twitters, anything that you're comfortable doing that maybe you don't really care about. I know I'm subscribed to about 800 YouTube channels, so I don't care if I'm subscribed to one more. I don't look at that. If you're somebody who doesn't mind doing those kinds of things, be super appreciative if you would do some of those sponsor quests. The prize pool is community funded. The $200 that I put in is from a sponsorship I did with Raid Shadow Legends that the community supported so much. I told them if we supported it a bunch, I'd put money back into StarCraft by doing a tournament, and they supported it even more than that. So that's where that comes from. Some Drunk Canadian with $50, Con with 20, and Shitzerg with 10. So we're bumping that prize pool right up there. And any contributions are super helpful, even if it's like following the G Fuel Twitter or something. Anything like that helps. I am kind of hoping that they give us codes. Sometimes I've had this happen. They'll give codes after the tournament. I'm gonna leave the tournament up for like probably just a day. I'll probably just wait until tomorrow. To shut it down. So hopefully, maybe they'll give us codes, and I'll have you guys add them later. But I'm not counting on it. They might not. I really don't know what their criteria is for giving codes. But tournament's going really well so far. I think we're crushing it. I think we're killing it. You guys having a good time? I hope so. I'm having a good time. All right, let's hop in to our next series then, which is going to be a PvP. Ooh, PvP. Protoss versus Protoss. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Jagannatha. We have our Team GP Protoss in the blue. Prince. And his opponent in the lower left for Alpha X. We just saw him take down GuMiho. It's Classic. Classic up very much so at the top. It's kind of funny how I guess clear the positions are right now. Like Zoun and Prince are tied. GuMiho and ByuN are tied. But Classic is just feels head and shoulders above the rest in terms of score right now, and you know he's gonna be up against Prince, and Prince, while a very strong player, and this is PvP, so I'm not counting anything out. He is, I would say, the weakest player we have here today. But again, we've got a lot of PvP, so who the hell knows? And he's not like that much lower than anybody else here. He's just a little bit. I think we looked at earlier in South Korea, he's ranked like 26. GuMiho is ranked 20. No, it's not like he's ranked 50. We didn't just grab somebody off the Masters ladder here. Prince is obviously a very good player, but I'm a little worried for him, and I feel like Classic is going to be strongly favored in this match. Wow, those probes moving around, that was kind of pretty. It was like a dance. You're thinking of making a special YouTube account just for these kinds of sponsor quests? Yeah, well, I mean, there you go. I know that before I started streaming a lot, my Twitter, I would just use my Twitter for like 3 things. And it was all stuff like this. Like if I needed to follow to win a contest or to put money into a prize pool, I needed to follow some random channel or retweet some random channel, I would. I didn't have any followers at the time, maybe like 10, and I didn't tweet anything out ever. Want to know what my first tweet was? The reason I made a Twitter in the first place was because Tasteless told me to in 2011 so that I could tweet out about the GSL. And you know what? I did. I'm pretty confident, not 100% because I'm not scrolling that far down, but I'm pretty confident that my first ever tweet was that the GSL was live in like 2011. But I've tweeted like 2,000 times, so I'm not scrolling that far. If you want to, go for it. Just get ready for all the cringe tweets from the mid-2010s. Okay, don't judge me too harshly. Prince going for the 8 Adept opening, and I feel like I haven't seen this a lot lately, but this can definitely be a cheeky opening. Classic's gotta be ready for it. Oh, Classic's going for a 3-gate Robo. Maybe he doesn't have to be ready for it. I actually don't know how these builds interact. Adept's usually not that strong against Stalkers, but you can usually get more of them. This is a proxy Dark Shrine. It's gotta be a proxy Dark Shrine. The Adepts are gonna shade out here. Ooh, man, and Classic gonna take a good start to this fight. In the speed zone, the micro's a little bit dicey. Oh, but the micro's not dicey when you've got a Prism. And suddenly Prince realizes that he's up against something. He might just go for a recall. He might just try to get these units to the corner. Yeah, he's going to go check if there's a base. He's going to finish that Shade. Oh, gets a Stalker at least. But I think that's all he's gotten. Yeah, 1 Stalker, and it's been 3 Adepts so far. However, this has bought him a little bit of time. He's going to be able to get mining. Obviously, he's up a few workers, but he's going to stop making workers now. He's got an Immortal on the way, which is really important. And if he builds a Dark Shrine, he might not because he's just trying to use all of his money here. But if he does, Classic has a Robo, but he doesn't have an Observer, and he's not likely to build one. Shield Battery coming. Oh my god, this is so many Stalkers. The Immortal's going to pop down, but I just don't think it's going to be enough here. Super Shield Battery turns on, but it can't reach the Immortals. The singular Immortal. Probes all coming off the line. Classic going to start warping in Stalkers into the main base. Warps in a Zealot, which is just going to help buffer against these probes. The Zealot dies pretty quickly, but yeah, he's just going to pick up and pull on out of here. He's done enough damage. Well, he hasn't done enough damage, actually. I'll be honest with you. He needs to do more than this. But I think he can. I think he will do more than this. There's no more Immortal on the way. The Dark Shrine was never built. Prince... Oh, and now his gateways are depowered. Probe's coming off the line, but I think this is the last-ditch effort. It looks like Classic is just going to take game number 1 with, well, the most classic build I think we're going to see today. The 1-base, 3-gate Robo. 3-gate Robo was like, that was the safe standard opening back in Wings of Liberty. My friend used to call the 3-gate Robo his bread and butter. Shout out to ByuN. One of the like 5 people I played StarCraft with back in the day. Good times, dude. Good times in college. All right, what's up next? 2,000 atmospheres. I do have a YouTube channel. I need to post to it more. That's in the plans. It hasn't happened yet, but we're going to 2,000 atmospheres for our next map as soon as the players are ready. All right. Yep. Hope you guys are enjoying the high quality StarCraft. This is the highest quality StarCraft we might have ever had here. Twitch.tv/ChickamanSC. This is a good tournament. I'm very happy with how this tournament's going right now. Well, let's get into game number 2. Spawning in the upper right hand corner. 2,000 atmospheres. It is our blue Protoss for Alpha X. Classic. Choosing blue this time. His opponent in the lower left-hand corner for Team GP. It's Prince. Say choosing blue. I have a feeling that neither player has a preference between red or blue, but I think Classic's been red most of the time, most of the game, so. Not quite sure how GuMiho Zoun is going right now. Hopefully well. Everything looking pretty normal. Nobody trying to go for any low ground gateway walls here. Not that I would really expect that, but you know, when you watch a lot of max packs, you start to expect that from everybody, and then you're like, oh no, that's just max packs. And I'm kind of sad that Classic kind of killed that so quick from Prince. I feel like in a longer game, I'd like to see how Prince is doing. I think that build, it's kind of just a build order loss. And Prince definitely had a chance, but, well, Chance is a different player. Actually, he goes by Jaw Titan now. Prince had a chance, but it felt like a long shot. He had that one Immortal out, but it was out just a little late. Classic did not wait at all. As soon as he saw the natural was vulnerable, he went right in. I'm a little surprised he didn't target down the shield battery, but it turned out not to matter. This game, both players going for Stalker openings. Prince dropping the pylon, indicating he wants to expand. Classic doing the same thing, although interesting that he's choosing to put his pylon out here. Most players put it in this area. At least that's what I see. Stitchy Twitch, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a lovely stream. I assume some darkest dungeon, perhaps. Welcome. We're on a 2-minute delay, clearly. But welcome everybody from Stitchy Twitch's channel, including the illustrious Samo sidekick. We got a Stargate opener from Prince. This is Stargate before Nexus. That can be a little cheeky. It can definitely catch you a little off guard if you're not ready for a single or sometimes double Oracle. But with Sentries coming out, Classic should be able to get the scout off on the Stargate before it's double Oracle for sure, but maybe even before single Oracle. I don't know how long energy takes to gather versus how long it takes an Oracle to come out. It looks like he's not teching just yet, building a 3rd sentry instead. Oracle gonna head straight across. Hallucinated Phoenix moving down the south side, but not actually spotting anything. Oh no. That's not great for Classic. He does not have a shield battery in his main mineral line. This Oracle is poised to be able to do 5 or 6 probes worth of damage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in a mirror matchup, it can be quite a bit. That being said, Prince needs to get that because he's down 5 workers right now. He's gonna hop in here. He's gonna grab 2. Oop. A bit of miscontrol there. Grabs 4. Okay, you know, not too bad. A bunch of less mining time as well. Should get him a little bit caught up. He's following this up at the Twilight Council, which going into Blink is kind of the standard SOP, standard operating procedure in this matchup. We're not seeing that from Classic, though. Prince is actually poised outside the base, and he's got a gateway here. Ooh, Prince is going to go for a big Blink all-in, is what it feels like. Let's see if he drops down any more gateways at home. He's only on 3 at the moment. Well, he's on 2. This is the 3rd. Double Oracle going to hit in the main. Oh, no, and he's pulled the Stalkers away. All right, the Stalker's forced to come back. But still going to lose 4 more probes. And in the meantime, these Stalkers down on the low ground have gotten some decent damage done. It looks like they've just gone for some trades. Oof. Loses 1 Stalker there. I think Prince is in a very good spot right now, though. Well, you know, I say very good. He's in an okay spot. Classic's been chronoing out Probe, so he's maintained a worker lead despite losing 8 and killing none. Prince definitely still has the ability to be aggressive here, though. And the Oracles come back in. Oh, he's actually just gonna fight the Stalkers. Yeah, kills a couple of them. This is very nice for Prince right now. Oh, we got some counter damage. The Adept's trying to sneak up to the high ground. It looks like he's at least forcing a warp in back at home. Oh my god, he's getting a lot of damage done. Classic gonna maintain a worker lead. Despite losing so many workers this game, he finally finds some equalizer. Something to do to equalize here. And those came from a Prism, so that Prism's gonna come back in. It's just gonna warp in 2 more Adepts. However, he's got no shield battery back at home. He's getting an Immortal out, but this is gonna be a lot of Blink Stalkers from Prince. As soon as Blink finishes, I think he's just gonna dive in here. Maybe he'll send the Shade first. You know what? Honestly, even if Prince loses all these probes, I'm very concerned Classic is gonna lose this base. I think he might just straight up lose this game, but Prince needs to go now, because that Immortal is coming down to the low ground. Oh, he's just gonna blink right on top of the Stalkers down here. That means he can't blink on top of the Immortal, but the Immortal shooting the Adept. Oh, that's like 3 shots that could have been used on Stalkers. And now Prince can take a much better fight here. Yeah, he's gonna blink on top of the Immortal. He's gonna try to get it, and he will pick it off, but ooh, loses a bunch of Stalkers on the retreat. Kills a bunch of probes. Kills a lot of probes, actually. He kills 12 probes. Classic. Knocked down to 24. He is getting damage done over here again. Probes might have to be pulled to try to finish this guy off. Stalker's moving back in. Another Immortal waddling its way to the ramp. Once it gets here, Prince needs to back up. Prince not focused right now. Oh. Okay, he does. He blinks away. So many probes have gone down. This Adept in the Prism is the only thing keeping Classic in this game, but 16 to 33 probes. Classic is in dire straits. He's just trying to get another Immortal out. Now, 2 Immortals can be very strong. Like, 2 Immortals beats a lot of Stalkers, but if you blink on those Immortals, you feel like you have this super beefy army, and then the Immortals die, and you realize, I'm still down 6 Stalkers, and that is a big problem. But Prince does not have a lot of Stalkers here. Oof, loses 1 more as well. There's nothing to block the ramp, though. These Adepts are going to sneak in, and they're going to get a lot of probe damage. Yeah, even this lost mining time is brutal. Classic is so far down on work. He's on 14. Oh, he's got, like, no money left. Now, Prince's army is significantly weaker than Classic's. Classic's going to recall the Prism. Prince going to see this army and pull back. Again, Classic's got the better army. I don't like this 3rd from Prince. I don't think he needs this 3rd. I don't like that he's going for the 3rd. That's a nice gateway warp in. Prince goes for the recall. He's just going to keep these Adepts back at home. I really don't think he needs this 3rd base. What he needs are shield batteries, and he needs to not die. Classic's on 14 probes to 40. Obviously, Prince doesn't know exactly the numbers, but he knows this natural's completely empty. So he's ahead a full base of probes at least. Oh, score. You're right. I'm so sorry. Classic's up 1-0. Classic's going to move up here now. The army supply is a lot closer right now, and there are shield batteries at both bases. An Immortal comes down. It dies immediately. There are 3 Immortals here. Prince is going to blink forward, and he's going to turn the Super Shield Battery on over at the natural. That's really helping these Stalkers. Immortal's starting to take damage. The Adepts are kind of just trading with Stalkers up here. Nice pickups for Classic. Is it going to be enough? There's still Shield Battery energy to go back to. Oh, but the Prism dies, and the Immortals are going to fall. And I think, even though Classic still has a little bit of army, it's still GG. Because probes can be pulled, and honestly, Prince could lose a base and still be ahead. That's kind of the place he's at. Classic needed to resoundingly win that fight, and he did not, which means we're going to potentially our first game 3 of the day. Yeah. I'm looking at Steadfast stream. It looks like GuMiho Zoun is 0-0 at the moment. So they're still in game 1. So we're going to our first game 3. It's going to be on Romanticide. Playing Alien Isolation. Ooh, nice. Spooky game. Spooky game. I kind of want to play a spooky game. I've never played a spooky game. Played a little Phasmophobia with some friends, but that's about it. Prince not coming in. Oh, he might be... He's relogging or something. He might need a minute. Not sure. Looks like GuMiho is taking down Zoun in game 1, perhaps. GG Shrek'd. Very close game. I wouldn't say anybody was Shrek'd in that one. That was a very close game. It got dicey. I was worried for Prince for a little bit. Yeah, we do try to stick to English only. Just because we can't understand other languages. Yeah. As Khan said, it's difficult to moderate other languages. It's difficult to know what people are saying, and a lot of people think that doesn't matter, but Twitch has stated there is precedence that a streamer is responsible for what people say in chat to a degree. So people can say things in other languages that are against TOS, and if we don't moderate it, then that's on the streamer. You know what I mean? So that's why I gotta stick to it. Otherwise, I wouldn't care. But unfortunately, that's how it be. I do ask for English only in chat. Thank you very much. Now let's hop in to game number 3. We're going to Romanticide. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner, representing Alpha X. It is Classic. And his opponent in the lower right-hand corner for Team GP. It's Prince. Got probes. Ooh, they didn't want to kiss. Usually they go right through each other if they're both, or if one of them's mineral walking. But neither of them were mineral walking. So instead of a kiss, they like, ooh, that was the cold shoulder. They pumped around each other. Yeah, I've never really played a spooky game. I've never been super into horror movies or anything like that. So getting spooked has never been something I've particularly enjoyed. So I've never really looked for it in a game. I don't know how spooked I would get. I will say, watching Uppatry play Outlast was really fun. Super fun. Like, way fun. Because of how scared he was. I don't know if I would be as entertaining in a spooky game. I might be. I might be terrified. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure I really want to find out, but I don't know, man. I feel like I should put a spooky game on the docket one of these days. Maybe that'll be like a Halloween stream or something. So Classic's probe getting trapped in the base. I don't know if he saw the sentry come out, but it's Sentry Stalker out of Prince and Sentry Stalker out of Classic. So both players opening very standard. Classic gonna lose that probe. Feels bad, man. It looks like Prince canceled something. If I had to guess, it'd be a pylon. Canceled a pylon. I don't know what else. Maybe a shield battery? Oh no, he canceled his shield battery. Duh. Come on, streamer. It was right here and he canceled it. The hallucinated Oracle. You don't see it very often, but you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Is it gonna do any damage? No. Is it gonna terrify Prince for a quarter of a second? Yes. Just that. Oh, it's fake. Oh, alright. But you got that moment where the Oracle's hovering over your mineral line and you get very concerned before realizing you scouted the sentry. And you know it's fake. Oh my god, but he's following it up with the real Oracle! Oh no, dude! Oh, he's gonna scout the Stargate though. He's gonna scout the Stargate. And he's gonna see the Oracle being chrono boosted. Is he gonna realize that it's the second one? I assume he knows his timings. But that's still a little scary. Oracle's gonna move around the top side. Uh-oh, man. Prince is not ready for this. Prince is not ready. Adepts finding Adepts in the middle of the map. I hate when my Adepts get found by Adepts. It's very not cool of them. Ah, this Oracle's just chilling. It's just chilling. It had such a beautiful opportunity, but of course Classic doesn't know what the opportunity was. He's going to join up his second Oracle with it. And he's getting hit with a lot of Adepts. What is this? 6 Adepts. Damn. Hallucinated Phoenix is going to spot the 2 Oracles, and that's going to show Prince he needs to defend against that. But can he also defend against the 6 Adepts? These Adepts can break this wall if they want to, or they can shade in here. He's going to target down probes. Oracle's going to pop in at the same time. They decided to leave. I wish those Oracles would go into the main. Hallucinated Stalkers in case they do, just to scare them away. We got a lot of probes going down. It is at the expense of a lot of Adept stuff. It's 4 Adepts for 9 probes. Is it worth it? Yes. Yeah, I think so. Oracle's going to come in now as well. They're just going to get 1 more probe, but Classic up 9 workers after this, and honestly, his army isn't that much worse. He's down a few Stalkers. All right, as more Stalkers warp in, it does look a little bit bad. He's definitely got to play careful. Prince could counterattack. I kind of forgot that part of Classic's army supply are these 2 Oracles, which, while potentially helpful in a fight, are not that helpful in a fight. Is there any chance on a replay pack for this tournament? I mean, I don't see why not, but I feel like I have to say that I'll give replay packs to subs, right? I feel like that's got to be, that's the streamer thing to do. It wouldn't be very streamerly of me to give replays to non-subs. But I feel like I could definitely be persuaded to offer replay packs to subs. I don't usually have too many replays that I can send out or that people really care about. Obviously, if people want Cock of the Walk replays, that is something I theoretically offer for Patreon supporters. I don't know if any. I don't even know if I have Patreon supporters anymore. Shout out to Con. Appreciate you, bud. But yes, I will say yes to replay packs for subscribers. I don't know what Classic was doing with these stalkers here, but oh, that's what he's doing. That's a lot of stalkers. Ooh, Prince getting caught out a little bit. Some nice force fields on both sides, honestly. With a little back and forth stalker battle here. Classic, well, I was talking about replay packs, made a million stalkers and attacked, and is attacking. Prince needs to pull back to a shield battery. Oracle's diving in, but one's going to get taken out. The other one gets pushed away. This third base is under assault, though. There's a shield battery here, but I don't think there's a shield battery at the third base. It does make it more difficult to defend that. But Classic getting pushed away for now. Ooh, blink forward from Prince. A little bold, but he's got the high ground. He's about to have an immortal pop as well, so Classic needs to be careful there. Okay, all right. Prince has actually been trading better. I think that trade was quite good for Prince. I really wish he had a shield battery like right here. Both players on 55 workers, 3 bases. The lax shield battery is a little tough though, because the immortal can't blink forward. Classic gonna dive in. He's just gonna grab a probe and cancel that pylon. Looks like he's not gonna try to stick around. Nice blink away. It's funny when they blink just at that right moment where the stalker shots, which are projectiles, are about to hit. They take no damage, but not only that, they made the stalker shoot at thin air. We have a Dark Shrine going down for Prince. He knows. He says, all right, we have 3 bases as in PvP. That means it's time for Dark Shrine. You take your 4th base, you drop down a Dark Shrine. It's kind of a, it's a standard in PvP. Blink DTs are actually an extremely important part of late game PvP, but DTs in general are good to have. Once you get into this like later part of the mid game, you still don't have a super huge economy or anything, but having a few DTs run around is always really nice. Some stalkers interacting in the middle of the map. Prince feeling like he can take the fight here. Classic decides to back up, but Classic's got a bunch of charge lots back here. Prince needs to watch out. Classic's actually way up in supply, but the Dark Shrine coming into play. He's going to kill 8 workers right off the bat. He's going to go for some pylons. Ooh, a bunch of charge lots warping in as well. Really, really nice there for Prince. Classic going to come up. Oh, where's his detection? These DTs getting unnecessary amounts of damage done. Finally, the detection shows up. But a couple pylons were taken out. Some gateways depowered right now. And in the meantime, Prince hitting the front, taking down the 4th base. I'm bumping my microphone. But the 3rd base, oh my god, this 3rd base is taking so much damage. All right, Prince decides to go for the recall on the Archon. It's not quite going to work. That was very close. But this 3rd base is super low. I'd love to see Classic, or Prince rather, just send like 4 or 5 Zealots around the top side to hit it. This Prism's still posturing in the back. And by posturing, I mean sitting back there, making Classic nervous. He's going to leave a few stalkers. Suddenly, Prince is in a great spot. He's up 12 workers. He's up a base. He's still down a bit of army supply. But I think with shield batteries and defensive weapons, theoretically, he should be able to hold his own in a fight. But as I say that, Classic warps in a bunch more and goes way up in army supply. I still feel like shield batteries defensively are going to be the trick here. Not to mention, like, Classic's got stalkers in the back of his mineral line. He's further away from things like his Robo in case they build units out of that, which they're not really doing right now, but looks like Classic just finished +2. Prince is already working on +3, though. And a big consideration here, too, that Classic needs to be aware of is if he loses his detection. If Prince somehow gets a snipe on this Observer, DTs can clean this up. Super Shield Battery turns on, but it looks like the Stalkers are going to target that down. Oh, man, there's a lot of charge lots from Classic. Is his army just too beefy? I thought the shield batteries and defensive capabilities of Prince was going to be good enough here, but it doesn't quite look like it. Classic maintaining a 30 army supply lead in this fight, and eventually, that's going to mean Prince has no army left. Oh, but here we go, the DTs! Where's the observer? Okay, there is an observer. It's right here. Those CTs did a lot of damage before the observer pops over, though. Look at how close this army supply is. And in the meantime, a DT on the other side of the map killed the third. Classic is going to tap out, and Prince takes the 2-1 victory over Classic. Classic, who was in first place and still should be in first place because this is the only 2-1 we have. Unless GuMiho gets a 2-1 right now, in which case Classic would still be in first because of the head-to-head. He's still in first place, but Prince able to take him down in the series and gets 2 points in his favor, which is very, very good for Prince. Now it looks like, Zoun and GuMiho just popped out a game. I don't know where they're at right now. Zoun won game 1. Game 2 is looking a little Gumi favored, so there might be a game 3. But, of course, I'm watching 2 minutes ago, just like you guys. So, Zoun 2-0 Gumi. All right. So, let's see what we got next, then. So, next, we've got Zoun against Prince. So that's us. And Classic against ByuN. That's Steadfast. So, this is Steadfast. This is the one that made me consider swapping and taking all the bottom ones. Is Classic ByuN. This is GuMiho's buy round. Need to get some water. Big result for Prince there. That's a big result. I'm happy for him. Oh, I forgot to do a... I'm so sorry, guys. I forgot to do the prediction. Ah, that feels bad, man. That's too bad. Somebody would have won a lot of points. All right, what do we have next? Zoun versus Prince. So we got another PvP with Prince here, but this one might be a fight for who's on the bottom. All right, Con, I think we've said it enough. Please, English only in the chat. From now on, just delete messages. The little trash can next to the message. Just delete the messages. We don't need to time anybody out, but just English only, please. Otherwise, the message is going to get deleted. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Con, 2 minutes ahead of me. All right, we're ready to go. Zoun versus Prince. We got another PvP.
Chicken man, chicken man.
On
chicken
your own.
Man, man, man.
Nice. Thanks for the sub. Welcome to the Cock Flock. And yes, now you'll be on the list to get a replay pack. Probably the easiest way would be to join the Discord. I'll do an ad everyone in the Discord with a replay pack. I'll do an at subs in the Discord for a replay pack. I'll put it in a sub only section. So it's specific to subs only. If you don't want to do that, just message me on Twitch. I'll send it to you on there. I don't know. Actually, I can't send you attachments on there. So you'll have to at me on Discord or something. But easiest way, probably just join the Discord. Thanks for the sub. Look at that. That's how you make it as a streamer. You put on a good tournament. That's really, I know you guys are just here to see the good tournament. You're like, Chicken Man guy's wearing a purple suit jacket. I don't care about that. We got good games. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres, we have Alpha X's. Zoun. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner for Team GP. Prince. So Prince taking down Classic. That was a close one. Very close one. But that's a very nice result for him. And it looks like Zoun took the 2-0 over GuMiho, so things getting very spicy in this tournament now. We only have 2 rounds left. Zoun versus Prince here. Steadfast has Classic ByuN. I'm really jealous of Classic ByuN. And then our next round, here we're going to have ByuN Zoun. And Steadfast will have Prince GuMiho. So this is, we're getting to the nitty gritty. And in fact, for Classic, this is his last match. So Classic's been top of the list. But it's going to be a little bit out of his hands in the last match, in the last round. He's not going to have a game or anything. But if he's able to take down ByuN, is a tall tale. A tall tale? A tall task. A tall tale. It's a lie. It's a lie. He can't take down ByuN. He'd be lying if he said he could. It's a tall task to take down ByuN. Classic can definitely do it, though. I actually think those guys are very evenly matched. That one might be another 2-1. Let's see what we got this game. So it's 1 base for each player right now. We got a Stargate here for Prince. Zoun going for a Twilight Council. Both players posturing to expand. Interesting that Zoun's using the same pylon positioning that Classic used. I thought it was a little weird from Classic, but Zoun, who is his teammate, in the same pylon placement. Prince, though, with a more secure spot. I kind of wonder what the thought process is here. As I'm thinking about it, I kind of like Zoun's position, this position that they were using, a little bit better because it doesn't block your ramp. So if you're forced to kind of hang out on your ramp, going up and down can be very annoying. And your units can get kind of funneled in through what's essentially a 1 hex spot. Not that it's always that important, but that might be part of the consideration. Now Zoun's going for a very quick blink. And with this probe on the other side of the map, I think he might drop a proxy. I don't know. I feel like the proxy would have to be down already if he wanted to utilize that. No, he warps in sentries at home. Okay, so he's not going for an attack. It's just a very quick blink. It makes me wonder what the purpose of the quick blink is. Speaking of proxies, it's actually Prince who's proxying off the back of a Stargate opener. His Oracle's going to try to come in and get some damage done, although with the shield battery there, it shouldn't be able to get too much done. I don't know, that was just very funny to me. I was going to try to drop the stasis trap. Not happening, though. Zoun too good for that. Prince, though, going to catch Zoun out here. I think Zoun spotted the proxy. Yeah, he did. He's got to get ready for this. Now, the Oracle doesn't have a lot of energy, but theoretically, if it did, it could come in and try to help out in the fight. It's not the most useful, but Zoun's going heavy pressure, and there's no blink with this. This is just 3-gate Stalker pressure. So Zoun, who's going to have defensive blink and force fields, he's got the tools to win this fight. He absolutely has the tools to win this fight. But the fight is not everything. These Oracles are going to try to go in and get some damage done at the same time. This is going to take a lot of control from Prince. Ooh. All right, the Oracles pop in. pulls Zoun up into the base. He kills one Oracle, and then he's going to pop right back down. But now the shield battery is dead. A couple force fields go down. They're not my favorite force fields in the world. But Zoun still has Blink, so he can still use that. It's going to be very useful and buys time for this Immortal to get out. And now Prince needs to get the hell out of here. He does not have Blink, which means he can't jump on this Immortal. The Immortal can just pull backwards if the Stalkers really dive for it. Blink is going to be a huge help to Zoun. Did that second Oracle die? It did. I think there was one Stalker in the main that finished it off. And while Prince is up workers now, he really needs to pull back. His Twilight Council is super late. He's not going to have Blink for a very long time. +1 is not going to be even a thought in his mind right now because he needs to get Blink out. Although Zoun doesn't have a Forge either, so I guess they're both chilling. I feel like Zoun might go for a third base here. Zoun popping up. He knows his opponent doesn't have Blink. Oh, I think that was a misclick. I think that Blink forward was a misclick. I think he wanted to Blink back and then focus down a Stalker or something. Didn't quite work. But Zoun gonna be able to clear out this proxy gateway. Should be able to take a third. I'm actually very surprised he hasn't taken a third. Prince is gonna go ahead and take his third. He's very bold with these bases. That gets scouted immediately by Zoun's Hallucinated Phoenix, which is going to come in and see Blink being chronoed. Not too surprising considering the amount of Stalkers that are out. There's +1 for Zoun, so I kind of mentioned it earlier, but Prince, yeah, he's going to be very late on the Forge, which still hasn't started. This is a Robo. I don't know why I thought it was a Forge, but it's a Robo. So Zoun's going to have +1 probably before Prince starts it. Prince might not even... I think he's got to go for it. I think he's got to get a Forge out. Zoun going to put a little pressure on. Once Blink is finished, though, he's got to be careful. Prince has a lot more Stalkers. Adept's going to try to sneak into this third base. He's just going to go for the recall. Looks like he'll lose one Adept. Oh, no, keeps it alive. All right, fair enough. Fair enough, Adept. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Oh, excuse me, bad observing. A little bit of an engagement here. Just kind of a back and forth. The armor supplies are pretty similar right now. With the shield battery, 2 shield batteries, and an overcharge available, Prince should be able to just kind of hold on. But Zoun's going to go for it, man. There's a super shield battery. I don't think Prince has high ground vision up here, which is a real problem. Zoun taking a beautiful position, and he's got this observer, so Zoun knows what's on the low ground. He can be ready for the Stalkers if they try to come up and contest this. The army supplies may be similar, but these 2 Immortals and the force fields from the sentries are making a bit of a difference here. But Zoun, now he's fighting on 2 fronts, both sides with some shield battery energy left over. Not really what he wants to do. Again, though, with the high ground, he's going to blink down. Oh, that is a bold blink from Zoun, but he's feeling good. He's got +1. His opponent doesn't. Zealot's being warped in, but they don't have charge yet. They are just going to slowly walk their way forward. That looks like me when I'm going for a jog. Like, oh, God. Like 10 minutes into the jog when I'm, like, way over it. Zoun's got a third base up behind this. He's still down a few workers, but he should be able to even it up. He's been down in terms of economy most of this game. I gotta be honest, actually, Zoun lost a lot of army supply there. Prince hasn't taken good trades, but he is up in army supply. Again, the biggest thing is he just doesn't even have a forge. He can't build cannons. More importantly, he can't get upgrades. Zoun's got +2 being chrono boosted right now. I think if Prince is gonna win this game, it has to be before then, or I wouldn't hate to see him drop double forge. We don't usually see it in this matchup, but if you're this far behind in upgrades, dropping double forge, just going for 1-1, chronoing that out, it can really, really help you catch up if you're behind. Now, this is kind of a role reversal of the last game. Zoun's piling on the high ground, going to get killed. Or the last game, 2 minutes ago when Zoun was over here. This feels a little different. Prince is the one attacking into the third base. He had the high ground. He had the better vision. Down, maybe trying to catch the prism here, but he's got to be careful. The observer spotting those stalkers. And the prism's going straight into the main base, so Prince is going to be able to get some damage here. Oh, and those are DTs. Oh, I thought those were zealots. Oh my god. The recall goes down, but Zoun was not ready for that to be DTs either. And now, oh my, Prince is doing the same move he pulled against Classic. He's going to hit at this exposed base while he drops in the main with the DTs. He's not quite able to get this base, but he's killed 11 probes. The DTs finally getting cleaned up in this base, but he's killing so many. Oh, wait, he's not getting cleaned up. What am I looking at? Oh my god, these DTs are getting so much damage. An observer finally pops, but it feels a little too late. Zoun might be able to push this army away. I don't like that Prince just left his immortals there, but does it matter? Zoun has lost so much. Finally, the observer is going to come up here. Zealots being warped in, which means the DTs take a kind of fine trade with the Zealots after getting all that damage done. Zoun needs to go across the map right now. He's got +2 to his opponent's 0 upgrades. And he's down almost 20 workers. Prince, does he have enough to hold on here? All Prince needs to do is not die, and he's in a good spot. Zoun has 2 observers. They're both kind of with the army. Okay, so they're both coming with the army, which means DT counterattacks could be massive if Prince decides to go for that. It also means that DTs on the front lines are not going to be able to do anything. Yeah, he's going to go for 1 DT across the map. This is going to get a lot of damage done, I think, because there's nothing over there. The Robo did live. That was being targeted at one point, but it did live. And Zoun, he's going to have a tough time pushing into this. Prism doesn't get sniped. The big blink forward for that. And Prince is holding on, man. I don't know if Zoun can push through. He's losing more probes on the other side of the map. His third is completely evacuated. He needs to get big damage done here. Like, he really needs to get big damage done. And so far it's not happening. He really wants to pull the trigger. But if he moves it up into this natural, Prince can full surround him. And if he moves down into this third, he's it's not the fight he's really looking for. It's a dicey situation for Zoun. Prince has a 4th base during all this. I just want to point this out real quick. Not only is he up 20 workers, but he's got a 4th. He hasn't been building probes because he's just trying to not die right now. It's all he needs to do. But honestly, he could let this 4th base die. He could let this 4th base die if he wanted to. It looks like he's going to go for the fight. He's only down 1 upgrade, but there's no shield battery here. However, Prince has these close warp-ins, and he's up 30 army supply. I think we're going to see this fight go Prince's way, and then I think we're going to see Zoun tap out. He warps in 1 more round of Zealots, but he's fighting right into 2 Archons. And there's just too much more here for Prince, I think. GG. And Prince, despite a bit of a shaky start in this tournament, has started to turn it around. Takes the 2-1 over Classic, and now he's up 1-0 over Zoun. Prince looking pretty good. I'll be honest. Prince was the last player we got in here. I was looking for a Zerg player. Everybody said no. And I was like, all right, let's find somebody else. And Prince was on the list of, if I need another Protoss or another Terran, who do we call? And Gemini, actually, who's on Team GP, I asked him if he could hook me up with somebody. Prince was able to play, which was really sick. But I was a little concerned. I was like, I don't know how he's going to do against some of these guys, but his PvP seems very strong. So he's doing quite all right. He's doing quite all right, and I really don't know what this looks like right now. Prince with the hero DTs. I'm telling you guys, DTs are so important in PvP. It's actually, a lot of times, we'll see players, when they go to 3 bases, they will drop 1 cannon per base next to a shield battery. They'll put a cannon next to a shield battery near each mineral line, just in case DTs come in. And we'll see that when they take their 4th, cannon shield battery, guaranteed. You might have other static defense, you might have more, but you'll never have less. You have 1 cannon and 1 shield battery per base. Now, when we get into blink DTs, that's not enough. You need to start bolstering your amount of cannons and shield batteries, and you have to get observer speed and really pay attention. But, yeah, we see that a lot with 3rd bases. Cannons start to go down. If you ever watch Max Packs, or I know anybody who's played a lot against Max Packs like Christianer, they'll just do that. They will just do that. I'm gonna get some water once we get into this game. Go down into the lobby. Oh, before I go, hold on. Ichion80 requested using 1,776 channel points. Requested a big ol' yeehaw! Gotta get some of those in. Gotta get a few yeehaws in. Now we're gonna hop into this game, and I'm gonna go grab some water, so I'll return very shortly. Hopefully we didn't miss anything big while getting some water. It's important to keep the throat lubricated. Properly lubricate your throat while commentating. Otherwise it gets a little squeaky. Running in the lower left-hand corner of Jagannath, we have our red Protoss player for Alpha X. It is Zoun. He's down 0-1 and in danger of hitting the bottom of this group, I think. His opponent in the upper right had a tough start, but has been looking strong against Protoss. It is Team GP's Prince. Now, if you're new to the channel, and I think we might have some fairly new people in the channel, would appreciate it if you guys dropped follows. Thank you to anybody who has. I'm the Chicken Man. I run a weekly tournament on EU called the Cock of the Walk, but I wanted to give a little something to the Korean scene, so we're doing this tournament. This is all from a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship that the community was very supportive of. I did mention that if we hit the high end of the Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship, I'd put on a tournament with part of that money, so that's where we are right now. We also have some crowdsourcing. I appreciate anybody who's put money into the Matcherino. We don't have any codes, but if anybody wants to support the players, donations to the Matcherino go straight to the players. That will be it'll just go right to the prize pool. So, and any of the sponsor quests that are on the sidebar, that money also goes right into the prize pool. So it's a good way to support players without having to put any money down. I know not everybody has money to put into StarCraft players' pockets, but maybe you've got a few clicks. Maybe you don't mind following G Fuel on Twitter or subscribing to Matcherino's YouTube or whatever. And if that's the case, all that kind of stuff is very helpful. If not for this tournament, then you know what? Those are going to be available in other tournaments as well. So just keep that stuff in mind. It's always appreciated. Twilight Council going down for Prince. Which is, I think this is pretty standard. It feels like a little bit of an early Twilight Council maybe. But only slightly. It's extremely standard. He's got a couple sentries opening up. Both players actually opened up with a number of sentries. And here's the Twilight Council for Zoun, just to show you how standard it is. Prince going for the Forge this time. He's like, I'm not going to get caught with my pants down and no upgrades. Not this game. So we might have a little bit more of a macro game. We have actually gotten to 3 bases, or we did get to 3 bases last game, so it just felt it was a little hectic before then, wasn't it? So maybe this one will be a little bit more straightforward before that happens, and we'll just get to see our players get up into some macro armies and see how they're feeling about unit compositions. The lack of shield battery here is kind of bold. Ooh. Prince paying attention though. Still got the probe in position. Prince got +1 started quite a bit before Zoun's gonna have it. Probably won't be that big of a deal in this game. Sometimes we see +1 timings where a difference of 30 seconds or so, which is I think what we're gonna have here, can definitely matter. But it seems pretty rare. Usually there's going to be a lot more overlap of time. They have the same upgrades. And players are usually pretty aware of what their upgrades are. And if they know they have an upgrade about to finish, they'll back up and wait as long as they can before they take the fight so that the upgrade can finish. Usually. So we do have what we call an anti-timing, which is where you take that fight and then as soon as the fight's over, your next upgrade is finished. It's like, if you'd waited, that would have been a much better fight. Prince gonna go for a pretty quick third base. It is the slightly more aggressive third base, however. And Zoun not taking a base just yet. He's got this probe out here though. It makes me think he wants to take a base. But he hasn't taken it yet. Prince is actually the one getting aggressive with this third base behind it. I don't know if Zoun scouted the third. He has. Prince spots that there is not a third, and he just backs the hell up. Maybe a little bit concerned about the lack of a third base from his opponent. Wouldn't hate to see shield battery. I never hate to see shield batteries. I've never seen a shield battery and said, oh, I hate to see it. Shield batteries are pretty good. I guess if I was up against somebody who had a shield battery, I might hate to see it. That's about the only situation. Zoun gonna go for his base. It's just later. Prince has +1 finished. Zoun is moving out. It looks like he's been chrono boosting. That +1 is pretty close to done. I'm a little worried Zoun's about to hit that anti-timing I was talking about though. But if he just waits for +1 to finish, it should be okay. As I say that, though, we have a bit of an engagement right before that's done. But Prince is a little scared, maybe pulling back. Some nice force fields here are actually going to allow Prince to take a decent fight. He's up in army supplies. Zoun needs to be careful with this pressure. Not to take bad trades. He's got a shield battery up. Like I said, wouldn't hate to see it, and I don't hate to see it. An immortal out for Prince now. Yeah, I think Zoun's just going to have to back on up. His base is later, but he is up 5 workers. So he's able to transfer probes over here and got a bit of an awkward fight. Well, Prince rather, blinking forward. Zoun's got a few very low hit point stalkers. Prince, this stalker is going rogue. That stalker was like, I want the kill. Prince was like, no, dude, come back, please. Stalker said, I'm gonna get the kill. And then proceeded to not get the kill, so good job, Stalker. Income, a little bit in Zoun's favor, and then a big spike towards, or a little bit in Prince's favor, big spike towards Zoun. Getting my Protosses backwards here. Prince is gonna move across the map, but he's gotta be careful. You don't want to start the fight off like that with your stalkers all in a row. You do want your ducks in a row, but you don't usually want your stalkers in a row. They're a little bit different. Prince again going for the Dark Shrine, man. He loves this move. He's going to do the same thing. And I feel like it's going to work again. Okay, there is a cannon here that's almost done. Zoun's ahead of the game this time. This is why we see cannons go down when you take a third base. This is it right here. And now as 2 DTs come in, the cannon should be able to finish in time for the Zealots to clean this up. As I say that, the cannon dies. Looks like he's going to try to target down a few probes. Some pylons. The Prism just going to leave. A little bit of a fight happening at the same time, but Zoun routing Prince. Oh, the DT, I thought the DTs got killed, but no, good recall there. Gets a few kills. A lot of lost mining time, and Zoun's taking this fight. I do not like this fight. He's got half his army in the main base. The one thing Zoun does have going for him is his +2 is done. Prince, he must have started it late, and maybe Zoun chrono boosted his. I'm not sure, but Zoun got his up a lot earlier. Prince chronoing his now, though, so he should have it up for the next fight. Gotta say, I love that DT move from Prince. It seems so simple, and yet it absolutely killed Classic in one of those games. It absolutely is what won Prince last game, and it's done damage this game. Like, it didn't do a lot, but he killed a cannon, he killed 4 probes, he forced lost mining time, he killed a pylon, the Prism got away, and both DTs got recalled home. That, like, it's just value. It's just value, man. And we see that value represented here in the units lost tab, which is called units lost, but I feel like also it's just resources lost. We see it when they like cancel buildings or something, it counts here, but not when they lose a building. Just when one's canceled. Zoun scouts that this is the 4th base Prince has chosen. Feels like a bit of a weird 4th base. Low ground, kind of weird to try to defend it here. I don't know, we don't see this taken as a 4th very often. I don't hate it. Nothing explicitly wrong with it. It just feels a little weird. Did I see a Robo Bay? This looks like a second Robo. I imagine there was a Robo Bay? Yeah, so Zoun's going to try to get into Disruptors, which is really the next phase here. Prince, though, he is up 20 army supply right now, and he's getting ready to go for it. The upgrades are even. Actually, Zoun got his +2 done super early, but he neglected to start +3. Prince is just going to go for it. There's a super shield battery on the back pylon, or the back battery. I don't like this engagement for Prince very much. Look at all these Zealots doing absolutely nothing in the corner. Stalker's blinking backwards. Zoun blinks forward. But now those Zealots come out. Maybe he was just biding his time. The super shield battery is done. Oh, man, and Prince just has too much here. That army supply overcame the shield battery, overcame what might have been bad positioning. I guess it doesn't matter. Looks like some damage getting done in the meantime, but similarly, it doesn't feel like it's going to be enough. The probes lost is even, but look at the army supply. It's a 40 supply difference. And not only that, Zoun can definitely just lose this base. You got Disruptors coming out. Can Zoun get the hit he needs? That was 2 Zealots. I don't think that's really what he was looking for. There is another one. Gonna get a much better shot. Hits an Archon, gets a couple of Zealots, but I still don't think there's gonna be enough here for Zoun to hold on. It looks like Prince is gonna take the 2-0. And Prince is looking very dominant in this matchup. Zoun's not giving up. He's not a giver-upper, you know what I mean? The blink forward, though. The Disruptor's getting taken down. There it is. Prince, man, so strong. Very, very strong play. And Zoun gets 0-2. Now, I don't know exactly what that does, what that means in terms of records. next up, we've got ByuN Zoun and Prince GuMiho is going to be having over on Steadfast channel. Now let's see. Steadfast is, I don't know why I'm looking at his stream. Steadfast is out of game. So it looks like we're ready to go. Oh, looks like ByuN took the 2-1. Ooh, wow. I think Classic started up 1-0, so for ByuN to come back, see, I knew that was going to be a banger. I knew it. Cynical Death, I have all the scores here too. I've been keeping track of the scores. I haven't been keeping track of the maps, but I do have all the scores. So if you need any of those, let me know. Oh my goodness. Thank you, the Bar TV, for the $5. Oh, I'm more than happy to, dude. Prince is a great player. He said in the message, thank you for inviting our player, with a smile. It's my pleasure. All right, so ByuN Zoun is going to be our final match of the day. Choose outcome. Prince won that one. Next one. No, still playing. And then ByuN. Here we go. Looks like our players are pretty ready. We should be going soon. Thank you again so much, the Bar TV, for that dono, and thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. We're getting into Oxide for map numero uno between ByuN and Zoun. It's gonna be a good one. Get your votes in on this one, boys and girls. Prince GuMiho should be really good too. Yeah, I don't really know who to favor in that one, honestly. Prince has been looking really good in PvP, but hard to say. Hard to say. That's all right. We don't need to say. That's up to the players to decide. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Oxide, we've got our Shopify Rebellion Terran in the red. ByuN. And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner for Alpha X, Zoun. Steadfast pointed out to me that technically everybody could end up with a 2-2 map score, which is true, or a 2-2 set score, which is true. However, theoretically, the map scores should be different. If everybody ends up with the same map score and set score, well, we're gonna have to figure out what the hell to do then. You know what? I'll put extra money into the prize pool to make sure that people get what they're supposed to get. So if in some weird situation we end up with every single person, with anybody tied, although I don't know how people would be tied. I guess there's got to technically be a way where one player gets first and people are tied for, I don't know, man. You know what? We'll figure it out when we get there. We'll cross that bridge. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. One of my favorite sayings.
Chicken man.
Tip Top Lop. Tip Top Lop, thank you so much for the Prime subscription. The Bezos bucks, dude. Appreciate you throwing those my way. I did mention I'll send replay packs out to subs. That's not usually something I think about, but I'm more than happy to in this case. So if anybody is subscribed or is interested in these replay packs, hit that sub button, join the Discord. I'll post those in there probably, maybe just tonight. If I remember. If I can get the replays from Steadfast tonight, then I will send them tonight. He might go to sleep immediately after the cast because it's like 2, 3 o'clock. It's after 3 o'clock in the morning for him, so. I don't know, man. Maybe Steadfast is going to stay up all night to cast DreamHack EU. Which does start in like 9 hours? Yikes, dude. Nah, he'll get some sleep. Alright, what do we got in this game? What do we got in this game? We got a 3 racks from ByuN. Interesting that he didn't do his little block the probe from getting in, CC on the high ground 3 racks build, which he's been really, really liking. I feel like I've seen him do that in so many TVPs. Not going for that this time. Let's see what Zoun has spotted. So, he hasn't spotted the other 2 racks, of course. But he sees a lot of Marines, and that's kind of a tell in and of itself. You don't usually see this many Marines if it's like a Widowmine opening. Sometimes you've got little silly Marine pushes or Marine drops that happen early on in the game. So it could be something like that. He hasn't scouted any confirmation otherwise. He's just going to have to play it kind of standard, kind of safe. Looks like 2-gate blink is the play for him with the Robo. His probe's going out to take a 3rd base. 3 racks can be a powerful build. I feel like we don't see it get that much damage done usually. But in the hands of ByuN, a bunch of stimmed units is terrifying. That's like, oof. That's the kind of thing that nightmares are made of for Protoss players. They wake up in a cold sweat thinking about playing against ByuN when he's got 400 supply of stim bio units. $20 medevacs dropping in pairs, different parts of the map. For some reason, the map is massive, like an AoE 4 map. ByuN's just got 10 drops going on at once, each one of them being microed perfectly. They wake up. Oh, thank God. Okay. Protoss is still pretty good. But we got a big stim forward here from ByuN. Takes down the super shield battery. He's going to go after some probes. He's traded with a few units already. He's going to stim again. And he's going to go hide in the corner. But Blink is available for Zoun. He's going to be able to pick off the rest of this without losing too much more. Let's take a look at how that went. So, according to resources lost, it did go well for Zoun. But of course, losing 9 probes is never ideal. So I usually factor probes a little heavier in terms of resources than other units. That being said, worker count still pretty much even. So despite losing a bunch of workers, still should be in a pretty happy spot. Observer gets saved by the Blink Stalkers, and Zoun will take the 3rd base. There you go. Got Colossi coming up behind this for Zoun. Thermal Lance charge +1. He's getting all the upgrades. Meanwhile, ByuN getting into +1 himself. It's actually almost done. And I think he might move out with a drop. Oh, he catches the Observer that time. ByuN's actually really good at spotting. Spotting invisible units. Observers, stasis traps, things of that nature. He's really good at it. And yeah, there we go. He killed the Observer, so there's no scouting of this drop. He's going to hold the top of the ramp. Ooh, that's a big stim. That's a big stim. He's going to chase just because the stim was forced. Maybe we'll catch 1 or 2 Stalkers here. Just the 1. Drop going to come in on the other side of the map. Super Shield Battery is going to be pretty good. It's not going to be enough to save that Colossus, though. He tried to target down the sentries, but this sentry was too beefy, man. The Shield Battery keeping it alive. He picks up, he gets out of there, though. Stalkers are not back in time to catch the medevac, so... Did he lose any units for that? I feel like he did. I don't have... I keep forgetting to make it in the mod that gives me the battle report, but... What a trade there from ByuN. What I'm talking about, man. He's got those drops and he just doesn't lose anything. How do you do it? A lot of Stalkers in the main, waiting for ByuN to go for the big drop. ByuN's not going to go for a drop, though. He's actually just sieging up outside here. Looks like he's going to be able to take down the gateway and the Cyber Core, which is annoying. We need to see that be remade. Colossi going to make this a little bit harder for ByuN to keep poking. Zoun's going for a run by. Not at the right time, though. ByuN was there. ByuN's got a very terrifying army. Look at this, 93 to 65 army supply. Zoun down quite a bit of supply here. It's 3 base to 3 base. The worker count similar. ByuN gonna stim in. He's got a couple of Vikings in the sky, which are gonna help keep this Colossus back. Shield Battery almost dead. He could honestly stim like 2 Marauders forward and finish that off, so no overcharge could be used. But he might not want to pressure even that hard. Oh, we got a flank of Zealots. Zoun thinking about going in. That's not a lot of Zealots, though. A flank of 6 Zealots is not that terrifying. But if it gets on top of the siege tanks, it can be very good. Man, this position from ByuN is going to be so difficult for Zoun to break. If these rocks were down, it wouldn't be quite as strong, but, well, that's a big if. Zoun looking like he might just want to go with a counterattack with these guys. Hey, look at that. 2 Marauders killed that Shield Battery, but that's going to trigger Zoun to go in. He's got a few more Zealots on the backside that are going to come in. The tanks are going to go down pretty quickly, and it's just the pile left over. Looks like the Vikings are dead as well, so Zoun able to hold on to his 3rd base, pushes that away, and takes a decent trade there, sending ByuN back home for now. ByuN's medevac's pretty low on healing. That's a classic ByuN thing, isn't it? His medevac's having no energy. If only they could suck health from buildings like Vipers, you know? That would actually be insanely overpowered. Especially since repair is a thing. You could just suck a bunch of health from a CC, then repair it. Be pretty dope, actually. Maybe do it like Defilers, where you like kill a unit and get a bunch of health. Be like the antithesis of what a medevac does. Heals units, but if you like sacrificed a Marine or a couple SCVs, you could get a bunch of energy. 50 energy per Marine. One energy per resource that the unit cost. Zoun looks like he wants to poke out, but mostly I think he wants to make sure his fourth is safe. He wants to make sure ByuN can't just get a good position on him. And as soon as ByuN moves out, the Zealots go right in. It doesn't look like he's clicked on the Ghost Academy. Okay, he's clicked some of the units on the Ghost Academy. But the repair is going to be good from ByuN. He pulls some units back. Zoun, though, is going to move around the top side. And this fourth CC from ByuN isn't quite done yet. Oh, it's so close. It's so close, but it's not going to finish. Oh, is it going to finish? All right, ByuN keeps it alive. That's important. However, we've got some Zealots in the main base being warped in and dropped, it looks like. Viking's going to push it away, though. Prism got to get out of there. Oh, no, the CC's still not done. It's so close. It's so close. Rip gets canceled. No fourth for you, ByuN. Meanwhile, Zoun's got his own fourth. Only 67 workers, goes up to 70 now, so not the best worker count in the world, but considering ByuN's stuck on 56 SCVs now that he just lost, like, what, 16 or 18? That was huge. Those Zealots getting a lot of damage done, and ByuN caught a little bit up here. Oof, pulls away from that Disruptor Nova. Trying to get to a good position. Tank's sieging up. Oh, and those Disruptor Novas all completely whiffed. Not something I feel like you see happen that often. Zealots back into the third base. I think they probably dropped down from that Prism once again. ByuN gonna go clean that up. He's continuing to put pressure onto this fourth base though. Zoun blocked between his third and fourth. He's gonna recall to the fourth. Oh, that is such a good move. Just recalls half his army so he can defend it from the little bit of bio that was pushing down there. And now he's gonna have a good surround. He's just gonna go for it. He's got units on the top side, units on the left, units on the right. ByuN's gonna win this fight down here at the fourth, but he loses the fight up here. I don't want to say resoundingly, but enough to make it pretty even. However, now it's Zoun that's getting surrounded a little bit. Bioforces on both sides, but most importantly, the fourth base stays alive. Zealot getting a couple kills on the other side of the map again. The Zealot run-bys have been really good. Oh no, but ByuN. He found the Zealot and he found the Prism. And Prism's not getting away. ByuN looking like he wants to drop on the left, but Zoun, I don't know whether he saw it or whether he's just that good. Oh no, dude. Oh no, dude. Held our breath for that one. 15 kills and 4 kills on these Disruptors. I don't know if they had kills before that, but that was a beautiful little setup there by Zoun. The fact that he noticed the units were there and ByuN didn't. Every now and then, you just get a little lucky that way. And while ByuN, I think, was in a great spot at one part of this game, it's not feeling so great anymore. He's down in upgrades. So ByuN's got 1-1. Zoun has only gone for attack upgrades, but he does have +3. And he's starting up +1 armor. Big drop in Zoun's base, though, and there's just not enough here to really fight this. EMP goes down as well. I think ByuN just wins this fight. I would like to see him stutter step backwards a little bit, but it looks like he's maybe more focused out on the map. Even if he wins this fight, though, and he's not going to. He looks back in the main just like I did. Saw that he was not winning that fight. And GG gets called. Zoun. It looked a little dicey there when it was 3 base to 3 base, but he holds on. He pulls back. He's able to just get that army out he needed to take the victory. What's our next game here? Gonna be on Light Shade. I don't know if I have the mod on here. That's the problem. All right, players are ready. They're just ready to go. We're getting into game number 2. Tasia 25 plus observers killed in a game. That's huge, man. Yeah, it is very, very close to being tied across the board. Now the map scores should help us out quite a bit here. I'm hoping we don't end up with any actual ties, but if we do, if we somehow have a tie, and it's certainly possible, although it's fairly unlikely to have an actual tie, because it's set scores, and then if those are tied, map scores, and if those are tied between 2 players, whoever won the head-to-head wins, right? It's kind of standard. It's how you do it. If somehow 2 players are tied, or I guess it would be 3 players would have to be tied, right? I don't know, because if it's 2 players, one of them had to win the head-to-head. But if all 5 players are tied, is that the only way this can happen? Or if 3 players are tied, but like this player beat this player beat this player beat this player? I don't know, dude. Let's get into the next game, and I'll talk more about it in a second. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Lightshade, we have the rebellious Darren, member of the Rebellion, ByuN. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner, representing Alpha X, Zoun. He's the dragon. The dragon. Taking game 1 there. What a game, man. These guys up a real slugfest. Yes, if somehow any players are tied up, usually what you do is if you have 2 players tied for first, you list them both as first place, and then the next person's in third. I feel like that's usually what you do. So that is what I'll do. If any players are tied, they will both get the higher prize. So if 3 players are tied for third place or whatever, all 3 players will get whatever the third place prize is. I will add extra money to the prize pool specifically for that, out of my own pockets, for not thinking about the possibility that ties were going to happen. So you don't have to worry. Nobody's going to get cheated. If anything, I'm glad I didn't say that earlier, because now the players would want ties, but that's a little bit too much thinking. Anyways, guys, we got a little bit of a cheeky Marauder concussive shell opening. Now this is specifically to punish, I was going to say an adept coming across the map, but it is a stalker, which you can still punish the stalker. But usually we see a lot of early game, like 1 adept or 2 adepts harass, try to kill some SCVs, try to just be annoying on the low ground. This is specifically meant to be good against that. But turns out stalkers also get concussed when those shells are out. And that stalker's going to go down, bleeding blue blood. Now I'm building a shield battery back at home. ByuN going to move out with the terrifying force of 2 concussive shell marauders and 1 marine. The classic match, or the classic army. Oh, I thought this was a 4th barracks. I was like, what? Engineering bay, 3 racks. There you go. Adept trying to hold on here. Wow, this adept literally can't get a shot off. These marauders are bullies. Bully marauder, dude. Why are you moving so slow, bud? Oh, you can't hit me? Oh, can't hit me, bud. Why are you moving so slow? 3-way tie is probably possible. 5-way tie, not anymore. I'm glad to hear it. What I don't want to have happen is a 5-way tie where, after what I just said, I have to pay everybody the first place prize. Not that I don't like giving players money. Like, also, I do have bills to pay. You know what I mean? Streamer got to make those ends meet. We'll see. We might have a 3-way tie. I still think it's pretty unlikely. but we'll see. The more I talk about it being unlikely, the more likely it is to happen. That's just how life works. Now we've got Blink here from Zoun. That early opening shenanigans from ByuN were fun, but probably not going to be too much happening here. Marine keeping an eye on whether or not there's a base.
Armed and ready.
Armed and ready. Maybe one day there will be a base. We got concussive shells. Combat shields on the way. Stim already done. +1 also being made here. A couple of SCVs following, but nothing crazy. I think ByuN's probably going to move out when he's got 2 medevacs. Combat shields will be done. +1 will be done. Stim will be done. He's going to have a nice bio timing. Zoun's going to have Blink Stalkers, which can be good at poking and prodding out on the map. But he's not out there right now. He's getting into a quick storm. I do like quick storm, and it's going to be very good against a bunch of bio without medevacs, which is what ByuN has out on the map right now. He is building medevacs, but in the meantime, I think he's going to be able to force a cancel on this third. So that's a nice little catch for him. He's going to stim forward. Super Shield Battery turns on. Stalker's blinking backwards, but turns out Stim Bio is pretty strong. It's just powering through the overcharged Shield Battery, targeting down some of these units. He's going to stim and run away with those Marines, though. Stalkers pick off one more on the back there. Storm not quite done yet, but ByuN got some good damage done. Forced the cancel on the third. That's the big damage. ByuN going to start his own third back at home, so the thirds are going to be pretty evenly timed. He moves out with the drop. The drop might fly right over this probe and pylon, though. That'd be a bit unfortunate for ByuN, but at least he'll be able to get the probe and pylon. Doesn't even get the kill, though. Just the cancel. Ooh, if these Marines stim in, they might be able to force another cancel on this Nexus, but they would be sacking 9 Marines for that, and it's a maybe. He's going to scout that that's happening. Stalker's trying to move out here to catch the medevacs, but ByuN will shoot them away. And then he's going to go. Oh my god, ByuN. What a baller. Goes right into the main base. Stalker's heading over there to deal with that. It looks like in the meantime, that looks like it was a storm. So the storm cleaning up that army. 5 probes go down. Oh man, that medevac gets out of there just barely, but has to drop her payload. Just like Han Solo. Dropping that cargo. Wow, Zoun's production tab was completely empty for a second there. No upgrades, nothing. Not a probe being built. He's just going, man. I mean, that's kind of bold. He's just going to go for it. ByuN's going to go for a drop, but he needs to defend right now. This tank is in a very cheeky position. Can Zoun break this? He's got a lot of charge lots. He's got Storm. He's going to go for it. Oh, there's the big storm right on top of the bunker. So all the SCV is going to die. The bunker is going to die. Are there more storms available? There absolutely are. Steadfast, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had fun casting that. Have a good night, my friend. Assume I'll see you tomorrow for DreamHack to you. Was that the drop coming back? Is that what I just saw happen there? Zoun's going to keep on pushing in. I think he's got a decent chance here, but oh, there's still a lot of bio left. Storm goes down, but ByuN avoids that storm. What a split against that storm, man. Town morphing the rest of those High Templar into Archons. Just trying to win this fight. It's looking close, but ByuN's got 1-1. And he just keeps stutter stepping backwards against these Zealots. Oh, a couple more High Templars show up, though. Can't discount how good 1 or 2 storms can be. There's a good one. Trims off a lot of units, and EMP goes down, so he just morphs into an Archon immediately. I don't know if there's any more EMPs left, but a couple more Widow Mines come out. Ooh, connect on that Archon, and the Bio cleans up the Zealots. Zoun's army is down 20 supply now. He doesn't have any more storms. He's got a few more High Templar, but they don't have energy yet. ByuN chasing. Oh my god, that's a juicy storm. He's going to blink the Stalkers forward. Oh, and a huge storm on the backside. Zoun went from down 20 army supply to... Ooh, it's looking good for him now. A lot of ByuN's army supply is in these medevacs as well. That's 12 of this supply just in medevacs. Again, I don't think we have any more High Templar with Storm available. 2 more show up, but again, they don't have the energy. Those are freshly warped in high temps. There were some ghosts out, but I don't see any more ghosts being built. Oh! As I say that, 2 more pop out from under the medevacs. Those are going to be incredibly important. The most important units in ByuN's army, I think, are those 2 ghosts. Zoun feels very all in. I don't think he's built a single probe this whole time. 1 storm goes down. Oh, he's going to try to target down that High Templar, but another storm goes down. More High Templar being warped in on the low ground. Oh, these are not fresh. These have a lot of energy. Zoun going to try to push in. Big storm to start things off. EMP kind of whiffs. Feedbacks go down, so the ghosts don't have EMP energy anymore. So there are definitely, I think there's 1 storm left. That is a juicy storm. ByuN sat in that storm, reveled in it, but the medevacs healed a lot of those units up pretty quickly. ByuN, he's holding on, man, but he's holding on 2 bases. And Zoun, while he hasn't made probes, he has at least a base to transfer workers to. And ByuN is going to really start mining out soon. His main is already halfway mined out of minerals. His natural is starting to lose patches. And Zoun is just continuing to pressure. He is not giving up, but he can't give up. He's got to keep on going forward. The EMP's hit, but the storms hit as well. Zoun is going, man. He's bringing another High Templar forward. I don't think he has storm anymore, and EMP goes down. But the bunker does fall. That's 1 more piece of defense that ByuN just doesn't have. It's going to drop some more depots. Those can help soak up some of the charges. Liberator on the other side of the map, forcing warp ins and killing 9 probes. Zoun's mining suddenly going to the toilet, which is exactly what ByuN needed because his mining has been going to the toilet. Oh, a couple of juicy storms to start things off. There's 1 more storm available. Is there an EMP? Don't think so. Storm doesn't hit too much, but ByuN is being pushed into a corner here. Despite having the upgrades, despite the supplies being so close this whole time. I think Zoun might be able to push through. The Archon count is just getting ridiculous, and while Archons melt to EMPs, it takes 2 EMPs to de-shield an Archon. And this would take like 4 to 5 EMPs or something like that to actually cover this space. And of course he's got to save his EMPs for the High Templar. The storms are way more important, but it just means these Archons are super chunky. Eventually, this is a war of attrition. Eventually, Zoun will win this war of attrition. I mean, that's all the storms for now. All the storms for now. He kills 5 SCVs, but honestly, I don't even think killing SCVs is the biggest deal here. Oh, a couple more High Templar show up. They do get EMP'd right away, though. Oop. 1 storm goes down. The EMPs have been huge. I mentioned how important they are, how vital they are. But God, this Archon count is just growing and growing, and Zoun is just going to pull the trigger. He's going to go in. The boy's being pulled. He pulls back again. I can't believe Zoun is just continuing to attack and pull back. It's crazy. I'd love to see him pull these Archons, the weak Archons, to the back so that the healthier ones are out front. He's got a few more High Templar down here. Still no Storm energy. ByuN gonna try to land over here, but at the same time, Zoun is thinking about it. He's gonna send the Zealot down. Yeah, and ByuN realizing he doesn't think he can mine, really. But this is it. I mean, he's got 3 mineral patches down here. He's out in the main. ByuN's out of money. He needs to try to mine, and he's just not being allowed to. I think he's got to push out right now. This might be it. This might be ByuN's only chance to not die in this game. But I mean, look at the supply. It's just looking a little too dicey. And even if he clears this army, by the time he gets across the map, Zoun's gonna have another warp in or two. The High Templar don't do anything. Zoun's just running away. He's just losing stuff while he's pulling back. I don't know if I love this decision, but he's still warping in. He still has storms available too. And this third base, it is mining a little bit. ByuN's getting some minerals, but it's going to be forced to lift. These mules are going to have to run away. EMP is on the top side. Those Archons just absolutely disintegrate. Both the third CC dies, and ByuN is at 11 workers. Can he actually win this game off of 11 workers? This is it. This would be the last game if ByuN loses here. If he's able to somehow win this game, that would be insane. Zoun still has a fully fresh mining base, though. And because he hasn't been oversaturated at his other base, it's still got mining. He's still mining in his main and his natural. ByuN's completely out pretty much at this point. He's going to go for it, but there's no more energy on these medevacs. And I think that's going to be it. I mean, the bio's alive, but define alive. Oh, one more medevac pops. Can it do it? Can it do it? Feedbacks. I just don't think ByuN's got enough here. There's not enough healing energy on the medevacs to keep these units up. He's trying, man. Look at him go. ByuN giving it absolutely everything he's got. He's got 2 Marauders and 4 Ghosts left. That's what he's got. He's landed his main at the third. And if he can push this away, maybe he can win. I mean, Zoun is all in, right? But is he so all in that this will ever work? I don't think so. As more Zealots get warped in, the Stalkers blink forward, Ghost getting picked off. GG gets called, and Zoun is gonna take the 2-0 to end us here. And we're gonna have to figure out who really, maybe what we've learned today is that all of these players are the top cock. That's what we've learned. Steadfast, thank you for the raid. Thank you so much for helping me cover this event. I realized that the best way to do this would be to have 2 streams, and I thought, I got just the guy. I got just the guy. And that's going to do it for us here at the Top Cock Invitational. Let's see. I'm going to refresh this. I don't know what the Prince GuMiho result was. God. Literally everybody's at 2-2. That is hilarious, but also, like, mildly terrifying. Every single person is at 2-2. That's so funny. I'll have to look at map score once we're all settled. Thank you guys for the support. I do really appreciate it. Thank you guys for putting extra money into the prize pool. We got to $280, which is super sick. That's the baseline I'm going to use if I do need to split anything, which I feel like I don't. I feel like the map scores are going to keep us separate, but there might be a 3-way tie. Zoun, ByuN, and GuMiho might have a 3-way tie. Fun times, guys. Fun times. Didn't think about this in advance. But I'm going to head out now. Had a lovely stream. I'll be on for DreamHack EU qualifiers tomorrow, NA qualifiers, and Cock of the Walk the next day. We got casting all week. Going to be a good time. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. We got a ton of follows today. I hope to put on more events like this in the future. I'd love to get more Korean events. I'd love to just get more like one-off events like this. Different things than just Cock of the Walk. But yeah, thanks again, guys. Much love. And I will see you all tomorrow. Adios, my friends.
Oh, man, chicken man. Thank you for the raid, bro. Appreciate that a lot, man.